Hello, everybody, and welcome to Awfully Silly. My name is Conception. I am the host of the show. This is, of course, if you haven't seen this before, the show where we take everyone's naturally favorite block of any mainline GDQ event, which is, of course, the Awful and Silly block. That is the best block. It's just without doubt true. And you can't prove me otherwise. But we take that, we throw it into some primetime hours so you can see them during the daytime, at least if you live in the US, which unfortunately our first runner does not. But so not daytime for them necessarily, but we will get there when we get there. Tonight's theme, we're returning to the well of some fun point-and-click adventure games, and we're going to be kicking it off with a couple of runs from VJ Smith here. First, we're going to be kicking it off with Aliens, a comic book adventure, which is going to be a very interesting game that is technically licensed, but we don't really want to talk about it. But I'm going to let VJ Smith go into that a little bit here, and we're going to jump right in. Fully loaded episode today. So VJ Smith, the floor is yours. Show us some fun point-and-click adventure stuff.
Hi, thanks, Conception. I'm VJ Smith, and this is Aliens Comic Book Adventure. So this is not a visual novel, put it straight out there. So many people have been messaging me going like, hey, this is a visual novel, right? Like Silent Hill play novel on the Game Boy Advance. Nope, this is a point-and-click adventure game along with some other genres thrown in. You'll see them in a few minutes. This is regicide percentage. So we're rooting in killing an alien queen in this. And we are also running this on the EU version of it. I'll go through it as we were playing the game over what version differences between the two, because there is actually tech differences between them. But regicide percentage we run on the EU version. So I'll be hopping into it in a second. So general gist of this is we play a group of 4 scientists coming back from a terraforming mission, and we get stopped by a SOS beacon to come over to a planet, and of course the planet is going to be infested with xenomorphs. But yeah, so naturally, time will start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Hey, good luck.
Thanks. So first off, we need to open up the area back to the crew quarters, because the ship is about to be hit by asteroids, so we don't want that, and we need to get some key cards to fix it. So we can skip a lot of the dialogue, or skip cutscenes here, but we can't skip dialogue, which is really annoying. So first off, we need to talk to our crew member Laura, and we tell her she's a good person, and she goes off on us. The voice acting and dialogue is not great here, but I love the facial animation she makes, and
that's what my last boyfriend said as he was walking out the door. I'll end up
this is a puzzle to get a green keycard off her. On the EU version, you have to talk to her. On the USA version, it's actually patched out. The alien isolation.
You're not the only one, Laura. I could tell you a story.
So yeah, we just keep talking to our shock face. So for some reason, for the USA version, you start off with the green keycard in your pocket, which lore-wise is right because it actually is your keycard. She stole it for like no reason. There's also a meter here in the bottom right-hand corner for like the morale between the different characters. It means nothing because a lot of this game's content was actually cut before it came out, and there's some RPG elements also mean nothing. We'll see them later on. But one of the things we're skipping straight off the bat is there is a hunger mechanic, which involves going to the canteen and just stuffing all the characters' faces with food for about 5 minutes. We're not going to do that because it takes too much time, and if we're fast, we'll only see a couple of the clips of the crew complaining that they're hungry, but like they're fine. There's a lot of text dump here at the start, but then after that we don't really do much talking to the characters. So we're waiting for this stuff to finish. This is actually probably the biggest time sink, is just waiting for her to finish talking. And perfect. Yeah.
If you want to get your toy back.
So now we have the green key card, and we don't really need to talk to her again. And we need to go into other crew quarters and steal their stuff, because this is a point-click adventure game. Of course, we're going to nick their Anthony down. We grab this keyboard, and then we come into our own quarters, and we grab, because physical media is making a comeback in the future, we take a blank CD, and we take yellow keycard. Why we need a green and yellow keycard, I don't know, because both of them actually belong to the same character, so I don't know why why the game distinguishes it, but it's a puzzle, I suppose. So sometimes the game kind of messes up if there's an audio file playing. So, come on. Like here, it's actually frozen, but it's not frozen. It's because the alarm for the bass started playing at the same time as trying to do some text, so the game kind of freaks out a little bit. It's a lot of little stuff like this.
Yeah, well put together, naturally.
Yeah. So now we have our landing coordinates, so we can now land the ship safely and give them to our other crew member, Williams, here, and he'll land the ship for us safely. So there's a lot of mini cutscenes here. Like, I'm mashing the crap out of the spacebar here. These cutscenes are like 3 seconds long, but I'm skipping each instance of it because you can't skip them all into one go because, again, giant adventure games in the 90s. So we're going down into the crew's hangar to get some gear and some mechs. So then we screen keycard. And we need to get a gun. So first off, we need to use the panel. We use the panel. We use the panel. We use the panel. And this gets us a laser gun for our mech suit. But not quite. We need to go in here and we need to use the panel, use the panel, and use the panel. Now we have the gun for our mech suit. And
there we go.
I can skip this cutscene because the audio file finishes before the video does. So there's a couple of optimizations like that where it's faster to try and skip stuff. And now we can load up our mechs.
Okay, let's go.
And playing this game casually, you will see this scene a lot because every time they leave the Sheridan, you just see this cutscene. And we're going to see our first bit of combat here. And so because we have the gun, we can just shoot the robot here. And this is just hold down the right mouse button and kind of just move the cursor up and down. We're hoping for some criticals. So if you see it like jerk back twice, that's back there, that's a critical. And
there you go.
We can just punch it, but on this we need the health, and we'll see why later on. And we go, oops, there's actually a guy in there, and the ship's medic talks in here.
Shit, he's dying.
That's great medical advice, Laura. Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you so much.
And we skip this. Crew are going to just berate us for a few minutes. So while they're doing that, the game has a couple of invisible timers going on in the background. So the first timer was the asteroid's about to hit the ship, but we've skipped all that because we landed the ship in time. There's one in this area where if we explore too long, Xenomorphs will break into the base and just get instant game over. And the next area is a weird one, and I'll get to it when we get onto the lab area. So first off, we need to get an X scanner. What's an X scanner? Well, we'll see it in a second. But first off, we need to stop over to Laura's inventory. You'll see all these meters down here. They mean absolutely nothing except the hunger meter. And again, we're not feeding them, so they're fine. So,
ignore it all.
Yeah.
So the X scanner.
So I take the first piece of the X scanner, and there might be going, is there a way to look at inventory items in this? There kind of is, but they forgot to keep implementing it. So at the very start, you can talk to some of the characters with inventory items selected, and they'll actually comment on it. But then it stops happening for the rest of the game, so it's kind of, you have to know what it is.
Sure.
And we come up here and we change view and click on the single pixel here to open this door. Then we get a comedy sidekick robot. We ignore the body in the ground, don't worry about him, he's fine. He's just resting.
Or naturally.
And now we have a spy robot, and it is really annoying, and luckily we don't have to listen to it much because it's like really bad comedy, crazy wacky robot sidekick adventures, and like we don't want to listen to it. So now we have the red key card. We can turn off the base's general alert, and now we can talk to Crespi. Oh, Crespi didn't make it. Ship's doctor again saying here.
I wonder who he is.
And I love this part where they're wondering, I wonder who he is or was, and they're trying to read his name tape. The bottom half of the name badge is perfectly legible, and that's the part that they can't read. But they can read the first. It's the first half is covered in blood, not the bottom half. So yeah, we take his biometric key card here,
borrow this?
He actually has some important
Promise
evidence
to
in his
bring it
other
right
hand.
back.
We're not going to pick it up, and that will come back to bite us in the ass later on, but it's okay. And we need to deprogram this security robot because Professor Church is the guy in charge of this base, and this is an aliens game, so of course the evil company scientist is evil.
Better.
So he programmed the robot
It's not easy
to
to shut
spy
up
in the
when you're
base,
programmed
and
to
he won't
communicate
help
with
us until we
everybody
do
like I
this.
am.
But like, here's an example of the comedy dialogue. It's really bad.
French, wasn't it?
Like, it's just non-sequiturs and whatnot. Okay, so now we have the robot fixed, and on the other category of this, we actually don't need to even go near him, but for outside percentage we do, because we need the X scanner. And the X scanner lets us look at hidden objects.
Looks like a piece of an X scanner.
So just keep this in mind. Williams here is the one talking about the X scanner and how he can fix it. Laura's inventory is the one the pieces are going into. So just keep that in mind for the next part. So now we can go up to the next area of the base, and I'll just select the red key card because the game is really annoying here. You actually have to select it before you come over to the door instead of walking up and using it.
Of course.
And now we have here on the ground is the final piece of the X scanner. So Williams fixes it. Laura's the one who picked up all the pieces, and naturally, of course, this would mean the pieces are in O'Connor's
You better
inventory.
check out the whole base to see if there are any secret passages.
So we turn around here, and you can see it's in O'Connor's inventory here. And there's just mines lying right here on the ground. This is just packs of mines. You can just take as many as you want. I just want to get 4. I have. Like, they're just on the ground, just in a random comms room, just there. But for those who are wondering where the xenomorphs in this aliens game, we're about to see our first ones in a hidden lab, and that's the whole reason we got the X scanner, so we can go down here. So unless you have the X scanner, which O'Connor has here, you can't go into this area. And I'm skipping the cutscenes here like crazy because again it's like microseconds here. So, and what we want here is a facehugger to attack us. Oh, come on, buddy. Perfect. We open our inventory and we select our mines, and the facehugger is gone. So what's after happening here is there's a kind of a logic bug here that my best guess is what's happening. When the facehugger jumps up onto you, it's changing it to the player character model as an animation. And when you open your inventory, it resets your animation. Come on. So we get it. I was going to try and shoot these last ones because it's a little bit faster than. Oops, actually I forgot one. I missed one here in the corner. If you try and shoot the eggs, by the way, it just immediately spawns a facehugger. And if you kill the facehugger that came out of the egg and shoot it again, it'll spawn another facehugger because the lore here is kind of messed up. Yeah, so we're just going to try and shoot these, and hopefully it gets one. And the last one's going to try walking into. So if you remember in Alien Romulus, how the tense moments of the crew desperately trying to get away from the facehuggers, the AI here is crap, as you probably saw. That they just don't notice you when they walk into you several times and turn around. 2, 3, 4.
Oh, 5. It's hard sometimes.
Yep. So the whole reason we came down here and did that was to get grenades. And we need the grenades for the Queen fight. And now we go into the main lab hub. And we'll see the third timer. Through this door, and perfect. So there's a force field here that looks dangerous, so we're just going to test it.
I don't know. It looks dangerous. I just don't have the right equipment to test it.
I do. Allow me. After you.
They're the best.
Yep, it's dangerous. Hey, O'Connor, wake your tired ass up or we'll leave without you.
You son of a...
Yeah, that's it's clearly a dangerous force field, but hijinks. So we're going to swap over to Laura, and we need to use press V's biometric keycard to open the...
Palm print verified.
thing here, and don't crash. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. There we go. Fine. So now we're in the lab. And this room here has some weird items in it. The layout of this is absolute garbage. It's like so hard to navigate casually if you're trying to move around. It doesn't look it from this little bit you see there, but trust me, it's really bad. There's an item there called an alien protector. It's in 6 parts. You have to go find it all around the lab, and it doesn't do anything that I can see. I've gone through game files, I've looked on Wikipedia's, I've gone through so much stuff, and I cannot find what it does. So if anyone knows what it does, feel free to hit me up because I would love to know.
Must be hidden somewhere.
And lucky enough, we don't need to look up the code, so it's MYYRMIDON. Enter. And we get ourselves a synthetic alien.
Alien synthetic. It's incredible. This church is either brilliant.
This is an amazing technological marvel, and we're using it as a glorified keycard.
Synthesizing one of these things, but I can't imagine.
So we need to quit out to the. We need to save and quit out to the main menu. So to quit out, conceptually, can you guess what button on the keyboard or what button it would be to quit out to the main menu is?
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna take a guess. I'm gonna say it's Q for quit.
No. Good guess.
Dang.
I'll give you one more.
What is it?
It is right mouse button.
Okay, one more.
Oopsie.
Right mouse
button.
Okay, let's go.
Things are going to get hot.
That could be one of the worst options.
Yeah. And yeah, you use it all the time for other stuff, but for this, I had a game crash. That's great. So on a second now, I actually have to reload.
No problem. While you're reloading that and getting back to where we were, if you happen to have watched any other Hotfix shows, but you might have missed some VODs of those shows in the past, or maybe you didn't get to check out all of Back to Black or Frost Fatales that were somewhat recently, feel free to check those VODs out on youtube.com/gamesdonequick. Also, Trans Day of Visibility VODs have been going up too, so there's a lot of content if you happen to have missed it that you can watch now.
A really simple code system.
Okay, we're back. I'll just re-enter the code again. Sorry about that. And the game is very temperamental. Right.
Old DOS games? No way.
Yeah. IDON, enter, and skip. So I actually need to save again manually, and the right mouse button is the quit button if you're not in combat. If you are in combat, it's actually shoot button. So why they actually went to the trouble with this, I don't know. But and it's not something that can be rebound either. You can't just go like, oh, I don't want it to be the stupidest option possible. It's just right mouse button. That's it. So, all right, I'll reload that save.
Okay, let's go.
Things are going to get
hot. And what the game does is it keeps track of your inventory and what hub you're on, but it doesn't keep track of your actual room. So it dumps us back at the start of the lab hub here, and it's right next to where we need to be. And we need to go into the underzone now, and we're going to get into Alien Hive. Just warning for headphone users, there's going to be a really loud beeping noise in a second. I can't do anything about it, I'm afraid, and trust me, it hurts me as much as it hurts you. But I'll give a warning just before it's about to happen. And we use the Alien synth to open the hive, which is kind of like a giant egg for some reason. I'm skipping cutscenes here like crazy, and we use the rope to get in. So just skipping through this. Don't crash again. That's fine. And there's a loud noise here, unfortunately. That's it. Sorry. Nothing I can do about it.
Look at this.
So we go into the Alien Hive, and we have two options. We can go left and look for Professor Church, or we can go right and go after the Alien Queen. This is regicide percentage, so we're going Dagonus and Alien Queen.
They used people in the same way
so
plants. They did.
There's some dialogue here that actually doesn't make any sense out of context because there's some lore you're supposed to be looking up all along.
Great.
And this cutscene here kind of references some stuff that you're supposed to have looked up, but you haven't. So, yeah.
How are we going to get up there?
So, we are waiting on this cutscene here, and unfortunately we can skip cutscenes, but we can't skip if there's dialogue, and this is a dialogue cutscene, so we can't skip it.
Of course.
So this is another maze. There is actually an in-game map for this, which is super nice. But the main reason we played this version on the EU patch is there's actually random encounters supposed to happen in this, and the USA version fixes that. They're missing from the EU ones unless you take the wrong turn off. But if you stick on the patch, you don't get any random encounters. So this is the Alien Queen, and we're going to open up not the grenades we picked up in the lab. We're going to open up mines because there's facehugger eggs we need to get rid of first. And okay, so run. The game is kind of finicky. Whenever the mine disappears, that's the game going. It doesn't understand and gets rid of it. So I'm selecting the grenades in the bottom right corner here. And I need to lure the queen into a very specific walk cycle. So we need to lure her up here. And then quickly all the way down here. And then we turn around and we start throwing grenades at her. I can't do this any faster because sometimes you can get a really slow grenade toss, and physics just go wrong. For you throw a grenade and it just moves in slow motion. I think it's supposed to be one of the RPG mechanics we kind of saw in the menu, but it doesn't matter because when you play one character and it's no bearing. And you might see on the bottom here, you missed, but the Alien Queen is almost dead, right? No, her health bar is glitched. It means absolutely nothing. And it's showing you missed. Oops, don't punch me, don't punch me, don't punch me. She's going to punch me. There we go. That did no damage, which is great. We want no damage. I'm going to swap over to the next pile of grenades. And I have to be careful not to do that standing next to her because, as I said before, opening up the inventory resets your character's animations. And he'll just stand there, but the queen doesn't get reset, so she'll keep walking towards you and she will just hit you. So we need to move here. And we just do the same thing a couple more times. So yeah, if you have any questions, Conception, I'll...
Well, sure. Let me remind everybody as well that if you're watching, that means you probably enjoy some hotfix content. So as a reminder, your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on this Twitch channel for GDQ help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. So if you enjoy watching hotfix, speedruns in general on our channel, consider subscribing to the channel. That's going to get you access to emotes. You're going to have ad-free viewing, and you're able to chat with the other subscribers during our replays when we have them. So highly suggest checking that out. But yeah, as far as questions go for this game as well. Now, did you now we've had you on the show before. You ran Enemy Zero, so obviously I know you have an eclectic taste for these kind of like older, janky sci-fi games. That seems to be your vibe, obviously. But did you have a particular affinity for the Alien franchise as well that drew you to this, or was it more like the history of the game and stuff like that? This
was actually a random find when I was doing a deep dive on Studio Cairo Interactive, and I saw Aliens: A Complex Adventure. The Queen is dead, and you think, sorry, is there anything we get off her? Nope. It's just, she's just dead. Not. That's it. I think the next one. But yeah, this is just, I played this casually, then looked into more stuff into it because information is actually really hard to find, and I ended up writing walkthroughs on Game FAQs for this. So if you ever play this casually and look up a walkthrough, thank me for it, because the chances are it's my one you're looking at.
That's cool.
But this is like I don't like to be too negative about games. So this is jank. I'm not going to pretend it's not. But there is some good. Like the art design is really nice, and it has a lot of ambition. But I think the budget and the fact that Fox seemed to have pulled the plug on the game shortly after release, it kind of really hurt this. Which is a shame because it has promise. It has some bugs to that, but honestly, a couple of patches and this is actually fairly solid.
Yeah.
So we meet Professor Church here. He's covered in gore, head to foot, and he's the best team in the game, I think. But you can talk to him there to give you lore, but every single thing he tells you is an outright lie, and it's easily disprovable by every single thing you can find elsewhere in the game. He's outright lying to you.
Up close.
So here, this is very dangerous. I see there's like 5 xenomorphs there behind the glass about to come in. There's actually 2. Whoops, I don't know where they went. Anyways,
yeah.
So we actually have infinite grenades because of a glitch that happened during the Queen fight. It doesn't always happen. I think I have a fairly consistent setup for it, but yeah, there's infinite grenades on that, which comes in handy later on. So Church has taken our ship to USS Sheridan, and we need to take the other ship that's in here.
This is the thanks you get.
And at this point, you're wondering, what other ship? This is the first you kind of find out there is another ship, and there's a ship of Clone Marines have landed elsewhere in the base, and it's going to be an issue later on because we didn't do any of the lore, so we'll see that coming to bite us in the ass in a few minutes. So jump to Laura and take the blue key card, and now we're going to Church's other hidden lab. Like this base is like about 80% hidden labs. There is a lot of lore you can find, but it's really hard to do it in one playthrough because there's so many random timers. So say before, the first one was the fact you had the asteroids about to hit the ship. The second one was xenomorphs about to break into the base. This area, you find out that there is a ship of space jockeys coming to destroy the planet.
Shut it, Herrick. For a start, I didn't have any real convictions.
And it kind of it breaks the lore a bit by saying that the alien life cycle is like facehugger egg, facehugger to xenomorph to queen to space jockey. But in fairness, this is more based on the Dark Horse comics, and the lore wasn't really laid out for like the later Aliens movies because only the first 3 were out at this time. So I will cut it some slack on that for not getting all the lore exactly right by pure standards. So we need to get another biometric key card. So we have it grabbed there. And we've now basically done our duty. We've gone through the base. Everybody's basically dead. Fun thing, if you turn right here and look at this one, it says Entrance Zone A. It's not. This is Entrance Zone A. There's actually a bug on the art design there. You could push O'Connor back into the thing again, but we're not going to do that. Once it's funny enough. Twice it's just been mean. And we're almost at the end of the game, so we need to refuel the ship. So to do that, on the EU version, it's kind of bugged. Only Williams can pick up this pipe here in the ground.
Whoa, heads up, people!
And we fight 3 mechs. So we need to still last because now we have the mines and the grenades. I'm actually going to use the mines for this because it's a little bit more consistent. It should get him. Oh, it is, yeah. Because the grenades, he actually have to turn around to face each one individually, and then he can throw them really slowly, and we don't want that because they'll actually be on top of you if it takes too long. So we'll turn on the fuel tank, and we just need to refuel the vehicle here, and we're good to go to the end game. So turn on the fuel pump and refuel the vehicle, and now we can just use the second biometric keycard we use, which is Pascal's hand on here, and now we get to drive over to where the Clone Marines are. Yay, we're going to be saved. We're not, because we did none of the lore, so they don't know that we've nothing to do with this, and they think we're part of the conspiracy with letting the xenomorphs on board the base and whatnot, so they're going to attack us on sight. Weirdly enough, on the USA fully patched version, this will never happen because this encounter is actually glitched out. But this is actually very dangerous because the AI can just decide to stand there and shoot you. And if it does that, I'm going to reload a save. Hopefully we get it first try, but I might take 2 attempts for this. So let's see how we get on. Okay, so we quickly switch over to the grenades, and luckily enough we've infinite grenades, so we don't need to worry about switching them out, and we're trying to quickly kill these guys, and we don't want that, come on, there we go, okay, we're fine. Sometimes they can eat the grenades as well, and sorry, that is time. Oh yeah, I'm surprised I did the end of that first time, because I didn't practice. It took me like 4 times to four attempts to actually get them out at the end, because they will just stand there and just shoot you, and the grenades can just do nothing to them.
Hey, first try, we take those.
Yeah, so this was just the ending cutscene, and so you think after a big traumatic event that they've all just been through, that it would be a very serious cutscene, but it's actually kind of stupid. So here's the space jockeys destroying the planet for no real reason other than they don't like the queen that we killed.
Okay.
Another fine terraforming
And
job
then
by
we
your
kind
very
of end
own
on this
company
kind of
professionals.
comedy, in quotation marks, moment.
Got your luggage, because we ain't turning back.
I hope to hell we don't have any stowaways.
I wish we could have found Church. All that research.
That's sequel
The hell
based,
with
but
Church.
yeah.
His findings will always be there
Yeah.
to be rediscovered. Our precious behinds, that's what counts. Let's hit the cryos. I'm beat.
Look, we can always look for Church again someday.
And this is actually kind of a semi-sequel to the
You aren't impressed by
Aliens
those
Labyrinth
creepy
comic book
science
series. If you want to read that,
I mean,
it's actually a
someone
decent read.
Your moxie
Yeah.
would see right through that kind of nonsense.
Don't you ever quit.
Hey, wait a minute. There's something behind the glass.
Where? What?
Oh, God, it's an alien.
Duck and cover. Where's my rifle?
Oh, my mistake. It was only Harrison's reflection.
Oh, got him.
Yeah, they're on edge. They've just had to go through one of those traumatic things, and she's making jokes with people who have grenades, mines, and laser rifles, and are sitting in their combat mix. This could in no way end badly, but we get our sitcom ending moment. So that was Aliens: A Comic Book
Brilliant choice.
Adventure.
That's right. Awesome. Well, I would say normally this is the part I would say, well, if you have any other plugs and things like that, but we're not actually done with you. You're going to be sticking around here for a second run here. But that being said, we are still have a break here. So for everyone else, feel free to get up, stretch it out, grab some snacks, avoid any face huggers that might pop into your home. But we will see you in just a few short moments with another run from VJ Smith. All right, everybody, welcome back to Awfully Silly. My name is Conception. I'm the host of the show. If you're just tuning in, we're diving into some very silly and strange and unique, we'll say, point-and-click adventure games. We kicked it off with Aliens, a comic book adventure, and we're going to be sticking in the alien theme, at least, with the next run, which is also going to be by the same runner. So the next run is going to be Alien Virus, also run by VJ Smith. So, VJ, I think the floor is yours. Let's see some more alien goodness. Now, is this the same kind of alien, though, or what are we thinking?
This is legally distinct aliens.
Yes, it sure is.
It kind of rips off elements of the first 3 Alien movies, but it does them extremely blandly. There's a few... it's... Like for instance, like the game music here, this is the original game audio. It sounds very much like a 90s corporate training video vibe.
Yeah, sure. I can see that.
And also as well, once you see that the logo is looking very sus, you can't unsee it.
Oh, yeah, no, I saw it instantly. Yeah.
So this is a more generic point-and-click adventure game. It actually got 68% rating in the Game Magazine, and they put that on the cover of the game.
That's how proud they were.
That's how proud they were of this. 68%, you know what? That's going in the fridge, man. This is great.
That's wonderful.
So, general story for this one is we dropped off our girlfriend at a space station, and we come back a month later to pick her up, and there's nobody around, and it's infested with aliens, but not an alien virus that's actually kind of like a bad title for this because there's actually no alien virus, but instead they're infested with legally distinct alien xenomorphs. But time will start as soon as I skip the first cutscene here. So 3, 2, 1.
How you doing?
Let's go. So I'm using a combination of keyboard and mouse here. So O is for open, U is for use, T is for take, that kind of thing. So I'm taking this toolbox, even though I'm only opening it and taking the contents inside, because sometimes the game gets confused with what you're actually supposed to be doing. And we are fixing this door panel here. And that's going to be a very common puzzle in this game. You can probably play a drinking game at home for that. So I'm just fixing this battery. I'm taking this cloth, I'm putting this cloth into this water bottle, and I'm taking it out, and now I have a damn cloth. This is stupid, and we'll see why in a few minutes. And we charge this battery, and we use the battery in the robot. And if you've worked in any kind of IT job, you'll be screaming at this. So we asked the robot there, can it open the door for us? And goes, yeah, if you're in the hangar, I can do whatever you want. Whatever security things you want, I can do for you. So probably best that you're probably wondering how this place got infested with aliens. It's probably crap like that. So open up here. Common theme with this is a big room and one thing to do in it, and then you never go back into it. So it's a lot of effort went into the wrong stuff here. So I'm going to give this guy the key card, and now he's given us basically admin rights for the next few door panels, because again, he's programmed to just help you if you're in the hangar. So we use the key card on the panel. We use the key card on the panel. Get used to me saying that, because I'll be saying it a lot in this game. And we take this light bulb here and put it into our light. Then we take this jar, we use the damp cloth on the jar, and now we have a jar of water. You can't use the jar on the water bottle. You have to use the cloth to put it into the jar, put it into the water bottle to make it damp, and then you wring it out into the jar.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Do you just wring the cloth out into the jar?
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Like this room here, nothing to do. You just go straight through to the next room. There's a lot of rooms like this. So in teaming with the security, we open this door, and there is a sock wrench inside, so it's good that was kept safe. Inside this cardboard box is some dynamite. Now, personally, I would have put the dynamite into the secure metal cupboard. Well, it's not secure, it's not even locked. But I'd have at least put it into the, I picked the wrong door. I'd at least put into the container off the ground, so there's a cardboard box that anybody can just kick over by mistake and take out half the space station. The whole reason we wanted that bottle of water, that jar of water, is we're using it on this guy, and he's badly injured, and we just go, hey, have you anything I can get? And he goes, here, I have a key card. And you go, thanks, buddy, and you run out, and we never look back. And okay, so we use key card on the door. I said we use the key card on the door, and there we go. The game loves eating inputs every so often, which is super nice when you're running. And we take this flare, and then we commit some minor vandalism. I don't know why that's so satisfying, but it is. Mm-hmm. Use the key card on the door lock. And this is a safe. We have some dynamite. This is a 90s adventure game. The only thing you could possibly do is use dynamite on the safe. So one thing this game is actually nice for, so this fire suppression system. One thing this game is nice for doing is if you unlock a door, it stays unlocked. You don't need to keep using the key card on the door lock. So it is nice for some stuff. And we get these two containers. So one of them has a self-destruct for the base. So this one was actually worthwhile being in the safe, because you don't want people picking that randomly. And then we have a resizer gun. We'll see that in a minute. And then we do our first bit of pixel hunting. There's a single button here in the corner that turns on the panel. And then we have a drawer here we open to get another key card. And we use the key card on the panel. Again, take a shot. And then we get to talk to the ship's AI. and we get to ask it another great security thing. Hey, can you just add me as admin rights for the hand scanners for the entire space station? And it goes, yeah, sure, let's go. Just use the panel back in the room there, buddy. Knock yourself out. Have fun. And we're wondering why this place is infested with xenomorphs. So all that was to open this, to use this door panel to open this door. And there's some spacesuits in here that you can use the resizing gun to make small enough to carry with you. That's a red herring. Instead, what you need to do is you need to use a socket wrench on this cabinet and take this pixel of food you could barely spot. And if you don't pick this up, you soft lock the game. So there's a box here in the ground, and we use the resizing gun to make it big, and then we can open panel here and go into our first maze. So it wouldn't be an Aliens game, some kind of vent action, especially with the sus logo at the start. So you can get a map for this, but lucky enough it's the same layout every time, so once you know where you're going once, you don't need to memorize it, or you don't need to look it up each time. And you have to follow the right path out here, because if you go on the wrong one, you see a fan going off, and if you try to exit the room, then you die. So the game gives you hopes, like maybe I could do something. No, you just die when you try and leave. We throw the flare down here, and we meet another survivor who is very happy to see us, and just mash through all his dialogue, and he will then punch us in the face and throw us in jail. And he is going to then get attacked by a xenomorph. I'm sorry, I skipped the cutscene there. And we just use the light here to get rid of it, because they're terrified of light, because these are not great xenomorphs. There's 3 key cards here in the ground. We only actually need to pick up 2 of them. The third one's a complete red herring. And then we use a key card on the door lock. And we take these 2 items. One of them is a beacon. And then we need to examine the body here. If we don't do that, we soft lock later on in the game, because again, this is great. And another example of big area, 1 item to pick up. Gorgeous art design here, nothing to do but go to the next room. Nice room here, nothing to do but open this panel and then come all the way back out. So a lot of effort went into the wrong things here. It's kind of as if that someone put effort into the art first and then did the puzzles after, but they forgot to do the puzzles properly. But I do like this puzzle. Yeah. So use super glue on the hand, then use his hand on the panel, and then we use the other hand scanner, and then we can come out. I do like that puzzle. So the other gorgeous room here, nothing to do, go to the next room. And we're coming in here, and we're using the key card we just picked up off the robot into this. I said we use the key card on the thing. There we go. And now I have to respect this for pure spiteful energy. So we try and take this grease off the desk, and he just throws it into the vent behind him out of no reason other than sheer spite. He doesn't want us having it. He doesn't know us. There's no conversation with him. He just picks stuff and throws it behind him. I have to respect that level of hatred. So we give this guy food. Let's keep that in mind. And because he's now eating, we can now mess with the control panel here. So we unplug it, and then plug in a battery block we got. And if you talk to him, you find out that the food dispenser in the kitchen here is actually booby-trapped from another group of survivors trying to hoard resources. So we need to, first off, we need to cut the alarm. Then we need to use a charge block to short circuit it, and then we take food. So that entire sequence was using food to get food. You might ask yourself, but Vincent, surely you can go at the start and just take that first bit of food and use that later on. No, you have to use this food. It doesn't count.
This food is special.
Yeah. And We'll press the button on the lift here, and now we can no longer go back. So if we hadn't picked up anything in the previous area that we needed, we are now soft locked. Well, luckily we have everything so far, he says, damning himself, but I think everything. So we take the chain, oxygen tank, and a new light bulb. So we use the new light bulb on the lamp, so it's now slightly brighter. The game doesn't tell you need to do this, by the way. It's just something you have to know. Another gorgeous area, nothing to do but go in here. We use this in the door to scrape off the gunk. And if you walk into this room without the upgraded light, you just immediately turn around and walk back out. There's no dialogue telling you that that's what you need to do. It's just, you think the game is glitched or maybe you misclicked or something. No, you have to have a more powerful light bulb. Another room with one thing in it. Come back out. That's it. Never go back in there again. And now we're into the second maze. So we need to grab grease that the guy threw into the vent earlier on, and we will have the stupidest puzzle I've seen in a while. And I play a lot of giant adventure games, Conception, and this puzzle is one that broke me because I had to actually look it up. I was like, what is this? And then I read it, so that cannot possibly be the answer. So we're...
Okay, cannot wait to see what this is.
So first off, we're grabbing the grease from here. We went into the room, by the way, just to turn off the fan so we could get here. And there's one fan we can't actually turn off because the switch is busted. And back again, I think I'm right. No, I went wrong. It's here and then left side. Talking and clicking, not my best thing. But we need to go back to the start of the maze, and I think we're right here. Perfect. So we have grease. It's not enough to put the grease in the ground. We need to resize the grease to make it a big tube of grease. Then we can put the grease in the ground. The game doesn't tell you this. Then we need to use the chain on this, and then we need to turn off our light. And then this happens. Absolute Looney Tunes, completely out of tone with the rest of the game. The music doesn't suit. The fact that you have to make a bigger pile of grease, because if you actually just try to use the grease to the ground, he doesn't tell you need a bigger pile. He just says, that would be messy. I'm not going to do that.
So just misleading, outright misleading.
Yeah. It's one of those ones where you're just going to look up a guide and then just go, what the actual hell?
Ridiculous.
Yeah. So we use this panel here. We throw our jagged bit of metal into it. It's too sharp to use. Then we use the jacket on here, and then we can open up here, and we're in the final hub of the game. So the door on the right is... You walk in there, the door locks behind you, and you solve a puzzle to get back out. That's it. It's very much a troll room. We take a bit of plastic here off the ground, and... I am going to take this light bulb off the ground for another puzzle that is not laid out properly. And there's a single pixel of a key here. Perfect. And we take that. You pick up the plant that's sitting on top of this, although we don't need it in this clocks up inventory. And this room is super annoying trying to route because it's very specific what you need to do. So we use tape here to fix a cable. We open the windows. We look outside to see a person outside there. We take this model of the space station. You use the computer. It tells you to use the hand scanner. You can't use the hand scanner first. You have to use the computer first, then use the hand scanner. You go back in this computer. You try and ask it anything, and it tells you don't have security clearance. You have to do all of this, even though it's a complete waste of time. But if you don't do it, you don't have a dialogue option later on. So that person outside the window is actually our girlfriend, Cara, who we came here to rescue at the very start of the game. And she's stuck on this gangway outside. So, like a crazy person, what we're going to do is we're going to run at her with a fire axe and cut her belt off.
Okay, yeah, that's what normal people do, sure.
Yeah. From her perspective, all she sees is a person running towards her with an axe. You don't talk to her over radio or indicate, like, it's just fire axe, let's go. So
just a little frightening then, just a little bit.
So she's safe now, and now we're going to give her a new oxygen tank because she's almost out. And then we need to give her the food we got from the vending machine. The other food we got isn't good enough. She won't actually accept it. So if we didn't give her food, she'd actually refuse to come with us after a bit and until we fed her. And you're soft locked because you can't go back to that vending machine area. And now we can come in here. Use a retinal scanner to get in here, but don't worry, we won't be seeing weird retinal scanners from here on out. It's going back to key cards and handprint scanners. Don't worry, we're back to familiar ground. We take some booze here, and we take a familiar key card. And this puzzle is kind of ridiculous in two parts. So first off, we need to use this key card here to move the heavy hook a bit closer. Then we're taking this chain here, and then we take this piece of machinery. We have no idea what it does. The guy even says outright, I don't know what it is, but you still take it up, don't you? And we then use the resizer gun on the hook to break down. We could probably find some way to open this actual hatch, but it's much more vandalism, I think, to do it this way, so that's probably why he's doing it. So now we need to use the bit of machinery we got on the robot's arm, then use a chain with it. And now at this point, and only this point, does he go, wait a minute, this is a winch.
Only now.
Yeah, so you have no idea what it is up until you actually just kick it on stuff. And this puzzle here is kind of annoying. Another room, nothing to do but go to the next room, and another room with nothing to do except clear gunk off the keypad and then use the keypad. And we need to fix the power for the base. So the game does not really tell you what you actually have to do here. So you use this key got to open here. I don't think it actually worked there. 1 second. Yeah, we did. And we turn off these. You take the busted tube here and the one at the far right, and you swap them around. Then you need to use super glue on a bit of plastic we found. Then use plastic on this single bit of the tube here, but that's not enough. That red light bulb we picked up and put into the torch, we need to use that to then melt it and then turn this back on. You're not really told this at all. It's just, you're just wondering what's happening when the game just kills you later on. So now we've everything done, we're going talking to the captain, and there's a guy blocking the way, but lucky enough, this is actually one of the most logical puzzles in the game. He won't let us through until we give him supplies. We got some booze, we give him booze, and he lets us through. And we know we've done everything right talking to the captain in the next room here, because our inventory will change in the bottom, and we're just going to mash through all the dialogue. And you should see the inventory change in a second. Yep, there we go. So at this point, we're actually getting a big text dump for what actually is happening story-wise. So the alien virus of the title is actually a fake out. There's a ship in orbit around the space station that won't come near us because we're in quarantine because there's an alien virus. That's it. That's where the game gets its title from. I don't know. And you only find this out like in the last few minutes of the game, because even as a speed run, this is still the last like 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And there's some what else we find out? We took that model up the space station, showed the captain, because we go, hey, wait a minute, this looks wrong. Isn't there more of the spaceship here? And he goes, yes, the head of the company has gone off and used the other part as an escape pod. And I need to click here carefully. So we connect onto our own ship, and then we can tell the ship, the cargo ship, to come, that's in orbit, to come down and pick up the passengers. I'll skip this in a second as soon as I can. It's literally, it lands and people go onto it. It's not impressive, and the music is just the same.
Yeah.
We don't get onto the ship because we want to take our ship that we landed in. And now we just give it the self-destruct thing. And if you done anything wrong, the game will just kill you here, and there'll be no timer. You just game over. The ship self-destructs. And we find out there's another way back out, which is just straight through here. And time is coming up very shortly. So we have our girlfriend, we have our ship is set to explode, and all the survivors are rescued. So, come on. And this is time.
Well done. Yeah, that is certainly a game.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't mean to be completely negative about game. The art design is actually really nice, and we don't get heroes in the run, but the voice acting is actually above par for a 90s game. The dialogue itself isn't great, but the voice acting itself is actually pretty decent. So, yeah, that's Alien Virus.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, what do iconic alien-based point-and-click adventure games? Just a lot of charm to them, a lot of goofiness, of course, but what a fun little journey we've been on. Any plugs, shout-outs, highlights you'd like to let the people know of?
Yeah, I'd like to thank a couple of other speedrunners. One, Ekdices is who runs the Speedruns from the Crypt Show. He's been really supportive of me in the past for my jank crap. Punchy for getting me into speedrunning, and Duo as well has been really supportive of me here. If you need to find me, go onto speedruns.com board and look me up. Any of these games I've shown, you'll see me on the boards. So feel free to hit me up if you have any questions, or if you have any information about Aliens: A Comic Book Adventure, please reach out to me, because there's so much stuff I don't know about the game. But thank you again, Conception, for having me. Much appreciated.
Of course, yeah, it was my pleasure. Yeah, and all those speedrunners you'd mentioned as well have all been on this show before too, so it does not surprise me, and multiple times at that. So we got a specific vibe here that we're cultivating, and this definitely fit it. So thank you very much for being here. Yeah. For everybody else, we still go for it, please.
I was about to say this game actually ends on a to be continued, because they got in their head they're going to get a sequel, but there's no sequel.
Very optimistic thinking, for sure. Yeah. But yes, so we have a couple more runs left on this point-and-click night here on Awfully Silly. So we are going to take a little bit of a break here so we get set up for the next one. But feel free to get up, stretch, maybe dip a cloth in a bottle of water, then take that cloth and then bring it into a jar and just see what happens. But whatever you choose to do. All right, everybody, welcome back to Awfully Silly. My name is Conception, and today we've been diving into some silly, fun, goofy, however you want to describe it, point-and-click adventure games, kicking it off with two alien-based ones from VJ Smith, which are both delightful and charming and quirky and weird in their own ways. I wanted to remind everybody as well, feel free to go on over to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix to check the season's lineup and check out the schedule for an in-depth look at this week's runs. We're only on Tuesday, plenty of week left. I highly suggest checking it out. Without further ado, though, let's dive into game number 3. As far as I know, at least largely dodging the alien theme that we've been going on with, unless there is a surprise that I'm unaware of. But we're going to be diving into Contradiction, Spot the Liar, 80% plus some cutscenes I've heard, and that's going to be run by Radamero. So Radamero, go ahead and take it away, please.
Thank you very much. You might be surprised by, well, not quite aliens, but, there is some weird supernatural stuff in this game. So
super alien adjacent. We take
alien adjacent, yeah. So thank you for the introduction. I'm Radamero, and I'm going to be running Contradiction, Spot the Liar, 80% plus cutscenes. Just as an overview of the game, it's an FMV murder mystery adventure game. So we're going to be collecting items. We're going to be talking to people about said items, which are going to give us more topics of conversation. We're going to catch people on lies, which is where the name comes from. We're going to get contradictory statements, and that's going to advance the plot. In terms of the plot itself, it's this girl named Kate Vine who was found dead in a village in England, and you are Detective Inspector Jenks, and you're sent to the village to figure out if it was murder or not, and you only have until midnight to do so because of plot reasons. Joining me today, I have Ant and Forrest. Do you want to introduce yourselves?
Hello, I'm Ant, and I know nothing about this game.
Which is perfect.
I'm Forrest. I know a little bit about this game, but that's it.
Yes,
So
I think neither of them have seen the run itself and has never seen the game at all, which is a delight. It's perfect. All right, I'm going to jump in because we have a lot of cutscenes and there's plenty of time to talk about stuff. So I'm just going to jump in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
All right, thank you. There's 3 things you're going to be seeing a lot of in this run. One of them is our friend here, Detective Inspector Jenks, doing top-notch police work. The second one is a business course named Atlas, which operates in this village, doing very normal business course things. I'm going to point them out for you in case you're not familiar with business. And the third thing is Jenks walking in and out of doors a lot. And I'm going to explain why in a minute. But for now, you saw that as a policeman, the first thing you do when you investigate a murder is stealing a screwdriver. You're going to see Jenks steal a lot of stuff in this game. He's very good at stealing things. He will do a couple of counts of breaking and entering and trespassing. So, top-notch police work. Yep.
Yeah, they just let you do that. That's fine.
Yeah, in England it's different. So,
Yeah.
so here we are going to meet our first 2 characters. This is Simon, and we're about to meet Emma. They used to be friends with Kate Vine, the girl who was found dead in college. So they are 2 of the people we are going to be interrogating in this game.
We can just go through here if you want. Emma's working in the front room.
Hi.
This is Inspector Jenks.
What's all this about?
So you can. I think this is the first cutscene. You can start to get a little taste of what the kind of acting you're going to get in this game.
I'll just speak to Simon first, if that's okay.
Top notch.
Top notch. Definitely not over the top. Definitely not super cheesy. Nothing like that.
Nope, not at all.
Not at all.
Over the top notch.
Yeah, over the top notch. Exactly. All right, so we're going to go into our first interrogation here. We're going to talk to Emma about the thing we just found, the little pendant thing. And she's going to tell us what that is. It's a necklace that she received as a gift once. And then we're going to talk to Simon about that necklace and about Kate's death. And that's going to be our first contradiction. And essentially, the first hour of the game here in-game is essentially just a tutorial. You get your first contradiction, and that moves the clock onwards. So it's pretty straightforward. If you know...
He's opening that door a lot.
Oh, yes. We are going to get into that in a bit. So you have seen him walking in and out of doors a lot. I'm going to explain it, I promise. But first, we need to meet James. And it's very important.
I love it demands explanation.
Yes, it does. James is here, with his hookah in the woods. He stores his hookah in a cardboard box to transport that.
Yeah, as we all do.
As we all do. It's very clean, though. He's very, it takes very good care of that. So yes, going in and out of doors. This category is any % plus cutscenes, which means we need to watch the cutscenes, but we don't need to watch the dialogue when we're interrogating people. And we can exploit the way this game implements controller support to do some shenanigans. So what I do every time I go into a dialogue cutscene is I press a button on my controller that I have here. Let me show it to the camera. It's just on my lap here. And that puts the game in controller mode. So the controls change to adapt to the controller, and then I click the mouse to flip it back to mouse mode. And what that does is it gives me a massive exit button that was not supposed to be there. And the exit button, instead of just kicking you out of the current dialogue you're doing, it actually kicks you out of whatever place you're in, which is why he walks out the door.
That's why you're
and you need to walk back in to talk again. And it's still much faster than actually watching the dialogue, so we will do that a lot. But yeah, so far here in this hour, we went into James's house. We found some weird black mirrors. And now we're just going to investigate this broken window here and the outhouse of this pub, which is probably the first instance of trespassing / breaking in entries for our friend Jinx here. We're just going to go in here. No, don't worry. It's perfectly legal to walk in there. And he's going to find a thing. He's also going to steal here. And this is the first time you get an inkling that there might be some weird stuff happening in this village. Because you find this.
Oh.
I wonder whose this is.
This is the
Ryan's.
when I was sending a screenshot to my friend, it was our friend, it was our detective here with that mask. In his hand.
That's a classic moment, a classic Detective Jinx moment. But now we're going to visit James. We're going to talk to James about the black mirrors we just found.
Could I ask you a few more questions, please? It didn't take you long. Haven't got much time.
The Black Mirror is not just a smartphone?
Yes, correct. In this case, it's a black scrying mirror.
Where do you want to sit?
Do you know about scrying? Have you heard about scrying?
Might catch your name. James, sit there.
I've heard
I've not.
I'm semi-familiar.
So James here, if you ask him about it, he will actually give you a full explanation of what it is, and he will say that it's what mediums do with the crystal balls and stuff, right? They just stare at it and they start seeing stuff. That's the same idea for the black mirrors here. But in this case here, we're going to ask about it. He's going to give a long explanation that we are never going to hear.
Oh, that's okay. He seems like a nice guy.
He's weird, but he's kind of, he likes black mirrors and hookah bites. Which is a really good name for a band. If you're looking for a name for a band,
That's a great one. Yeah.
Now we're going to introduce ourselves to Rebecca here. Rebecca runs the pub in the village. She's also married to the guy who runs Atlas, the weird business course we are going to interact with.
There's been an incident in the village. I'm conducting an investigation. Could I ask you a few questions, please?
Right. Come through.
Thank you.
But yeah, this game, this category in specific, it's relatively limited in terms of weird tech and things like that. It's very much you need to route everything correctly, right? You need to know exactly what's the minimum set of things you need to do to get the set of topics you need to talk about to get the contradictions, and then you essentially just optimize movement around so that you minimize the number of moving around you need to do.
Is there any tech with?
Thank you.
With Jenks's eyebrows.
I wish there was tech with Jenks's eyebrows.
Probably be back later. A couple more questions, if that's
Well,
okay.
hopefully we'll get enough of them.
Oh, we're going to get a lot of it.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
I think we will.
That's all
I'm
for the
confident.
moment. Thank you.
All right. So we're going to talk to Simon here about two things that we're not going to use immediately. We're going to talk about the mask. Simon is a very good source of knowledge in this game. Pretty much everything
Useful as a conversational start.
you talk to him about, he will give you a new topic of conversation. He's very good about that. So in this case here, we talked about the mask and about the bottles we found at the very beginning of the game, just because that gives us two topics of conversation we're going to use later. And since we're here to talk to Emma,
Ask you a couple more things, please. Have you seen? That's it for the time.
So now we're just going to get 3 contradictions here with Emma. Emma has a lot of secrets, so
Just a few more questions, if you don't mind.
I love how consistent Jenks is with knocking.
He's very good. Yeah. He's a pro knocker, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Now Emma is Simon's. Was that Emma was Simon's?
Yeah, he's Simon's partner. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unclear. The game doesn't make it super clear what the relationship is, but they
live in the same house.
They live in the same house, and they're called partners. So
okay.
Yeah.
Couple more
So
questions,
you
if that's okay. Not sure.
That window knock too. That's
yeah. You got to knock on the window for Emma because Simon picks up the
Very
door
clear.
every single time. So if you want to talk to Emma, it needs to be at the window.
That's all for the moment.
All right, that's 6 p.m.
So that was that first full hour, or was that the second?
That's the second full hour. Now, and I want you to try and guess, as we go into this cutscene here, there's a guy carving a thing on the tree. I want you to try and guess what he's carving there. That's going to be the first instance of the guessing game for Ant.
Okay. He has to be carving, I'm going to say, a sun.
A sun. Okay, try again.
Can we do some like a 20 questions? Is it a cult?
Is it a skull? He seems like a cool guy.
Yeah, debatable, but sure. It's not a skull, it's not a sun. We're about to see it, so you're not going to guess it. I could give you like 200 guesses and you would not be able to guess it.
Pathetic.
Oh, goodness gracious. I'm so terrified to see what this is about to be.
All right, here we go. There it is. Did you guess?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Rock on.
Yeah.
So we gotta talk to someone about this, right? Because this is weird. So we're going to talk to Simon about it, and this is the one dialogue cutscene I will let run for a few seconds because it is an iconic contradiction moment that the fans will want to see. So
yeah, 100%. This one's important.
This one is essential.
This is the one I know.
The run is not validated if you don't see that. So
yeah. Yes. What's he cooking? What do you think?
He's cooking chili pork. He says, I don't know what chili pork is. I looked for recipes for chili pork. No one calls it chili pork. People call it pork chili or chili with pork.
It does sound like a thing. It does sound like a thing English people would say.
That is true. That is true.
No offense to the English.
Didn't really get on.
All right, here we go. Let's talk to him about the carving.
It's just through the farmyard at the back.
Interesting. Yeah.
If I did this.
All right, that's more or less enough for that one. You can talk. You can talk about that to everyone, and the way Jenks asks about that gets increasingly unhinged. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I will say if you feel like there's like one other one, if it's not going to be like too much to like extra time, like. If there's one other really good one.
Yeah, I don't remember if there is another really good one off the top of my head because this is the only one I watch in the run, right?
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
I feel like I need to start doing that to people that I meet.
Yeah, if I did this,
if I did
this,
does that mean anything to you?
So we found some magic mint, just
magic
there.
Mint.
Yeah. It's a package of drying leaves. And Rebecca here.
That's not what I thought that was.
Rebecca will tell us that is Salvia Divinorum, magic mint. And here we're going to see this guy drinking in the woods for about 2 frames, and that's the cutscene. That's a very weird cutscene because the game skips that for you. I didn't do anything to skip that cutscene.
Oh, well, that's kind of
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you trigger that cutscene before Jenks stops talking, you just skip that cutscene. I don't know why. It just happens. So
we're gonna get a lot of this bell, huh?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of bell right now. I think this might be the last time I talk to James, though. So, enjoy the bell while you can.
Okay. I'm gonna sample.
Oh, I clicked the wrong thing.
Aha. That's all for the moment. Thank you.
So our friend James here is the person we are going to accuse of growing magic mint, Salvia Divinorum, which is illegal in the UK at the time of filming. So I don't know if it became illegal after that, but at time of filming, illegal hallucinogenic in the UK.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about that with our friend here, and he is going to reveal himself to be a conspiracy theorist, like a hardcore one. He is convinced that the business course in the village is a cult that is brainwashing people and selling them as black market slaves.
Oh, jeez.
So
I was going to say the first half of that is true.
That is fair, yeah. But now we are going to meet personally my favorite character in this game, our friend Ryan Rand, who runs the Atlas course. So, a very subtle reference to something there.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. And he is, of all the delightful hams in this game, he is the hammest of them all. He is the most over-the-top person in this whole game, and it's delightful.
He beats Jenks?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Though Jenks did fall on the sofa there, but yeah.
I better not.
Yep.
But yeah, it's an act off here.
So you wanted to speak to me? I believe that Kate Vine was a student at Atlas.
Kate Vine? Well, yes, she was. All of this has been thoroughly investigated, Inspector. It was suicide.
Well, we have reason to believe there may be rather more to it than that.
Really? Well, then, in that case, I'd be prepared to assist in any way possible.
Thank you.
His little cheer is just fantastic. I love this.
Yeah.
A little second little glimpse over.
Yeah. It has been described to me as he was given the direction, drink guiltily, and he followed that perfectly.
That checks.
We are going to look for the cardboard mask here.
That's it for the time being. Thank you.
So the cardboard mask?
More questions, if that's okay.
Yeah, it's the mask we found
that
on
thing
the...
is made of cardboard.
Yes, that it looks kind of like a papier-mâché kind of thing, right?
Yeah, sure, okay. I just had decided that it was a very light wood.
That explanation was way too short. Right.
This game loves to not recognize your mouse inputs. If the mouse is moving even a tiny little bit, it will think you're dragging and not clicking, and it will not give you a click on the thing you want to click.
That's very kind of them.
Yes, so when it looks like it's taking me too long to click on the thing, that's why. Now we're going to meet Ryan Rand's dad, Paul Rand, who is, in my opinion, the most cartoonishly evil character I've seen in anything.
Okay. Oh, I'm so ready for this.
Just coming. He's through here.
This game is just full of incredible characters. It's so good. There he is.
He's always got that smirk on his face.
Detective Inspector Jenks, I'm investigating a death in the village. I believe you knew Kate Vine.
Oh, I thought all this was dealt with, Inspector. You do know that Kate Vine was a gherkin short of a big mad.
Excuse me?
I've done research on this sentence as well. Pretty much every reference I've found on the internet to that specific expression is this game.
So what do you
Interesting.
Not colloquial then.
No.
Jenks barely seems like he wants to be here.
being quizzed about
That's a good point, actually.
who turned into a useless drunk? Ryan, would you mind leaving us for a while?
Like, not the actor.
That's quite the monologue.
Oh yeah, no, it's this guy is like he's evil in kind of like a slightly menacing way.
You may begin, Mr. Holmes, although I'm not...
The armchair is doing a lot for
Yes.
that, I think.
I like that this man says multiple times during this game he's a very busy man.
While he sits in this armchair and I believe he was smoking a cigar. Did I?
I think you conjured that. I don't think he's smoking a cigar, but
no, he's got his glasses. That's what it is.
yes, but he is just there.
Wow, Paul certainly doesn't.
How well?
I particularly enjoy that one of the last contradictions we're going to get in this game is at midnight talking to him, and he's going to finish that by saying, "You must excuse me, detective. I am very busy and I need to work." At midnight.
I think this door might be I think it might be top of the list in terms of doors at this point.
Yeah, this is a good door.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Cast iron
door.
This door has a particular property that we're going to see in a bit. Sometimes we are going to leave that door twice. But now we need to go into Atlas here and do some searching on the kitchen. And this is the second instance of the guessing game. What do you think Jenks is going to find here?
Okay. He's going to find a hookah. Another one.
Okay, interesting guess. It's not that. What he's going to find is a DVD marked XXX.
And do
not move. Interesting. Yes, of course.
Yes.
I also keep DVDs marked XXX do not move in my kitchen drawers.
But my business mansion.
Yeah, so
kitchen.
We are immediately going to go into normal business thing here. It's just a regular doll burning ceremony that you have in business courses.
This was in my Business Admin 101 class.
Yes, I know business, and I've gone through business courses, and all of them had some kind of doll burning ceremony where you wear a mask. Yeah.
So I've only done
sure.
writing tutoring for business students, but I might have seen a couple of these masks, but I don't know. I think that's it.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a normal thing. I just want to assure everyone that's watching that this is normal.
High schoolers. Are these adults?
I think in game they're supposed to be college age. So yeah.
Okay.
Oh, did he give him a little face pat?
He gave him a little like finger snap kind of thing. Like time's running by.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was a snap or a face pat because his head was in the way.
What on earth was that about?
So now we're just going to walk out of here and we're going to find a thing on the ground. One thing I noticed very recently when I was doing practice for this is that more than half the characters in this game drop something at some point. People are very clumsy in this village.
Yeah, very clumsy.
Would you say that leads to their downfall? The
For some of them, yeah.
Thank you.
So we're just going to talk to Paul here about the DVD, and we're going to leave twice here. Oh no, it's not here yet. No, we're going to leave twice in a bit. Here we're just going to.
This isn't part of the. Keep going. Sorry.
Now here we're just going to look into the garage here. We found the garage opener. Might as well use it, right? And here there's something plot critical hit that we're going to find here, which is 3 guitars.
So, those are Ryan's guitars, kept in a
Ryan's guitars.
Not really the best.
All right. So what do you think happens next in the story?
There's going to be a concert.
No, what happens next in the story is we get mugged.
Oh, okay.
What?
Not a tote bag.
Oh, it.
What?
What?
Is that a? Okay.
The DVD. That's all we took.
We didn't even. I was going to ask if we could ask Simon about the DVD, but it's too late.
We're never going to know what was in that DVD. So the run used to watch the DVD because I thought it was necessary. It turns out you don't actually need to watch the DVD. You just need to talk to Paul about it. And the moment you talk to Paul about the DVD, you get mugged.
Okay.
So, take your own conclusions from that.
Questions, please.
Yeah, hard to say what that could possibly.
Yeah. So we're going to get a contradiction here from Paul. And then after this contradiction is the first time we're going to leave twice from here. There we go. We're going to leave once. Then we're going to leave twice.
Oh, cool.
There's a very specific reason for that, but it's funnier to just think that, sometimes you need to leave twice, just to be sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Sometimes you save twice because you couldn't remember you saved the game. Sometimes you just got to leave the house twice.
Just to be sure.
I'm a Southerner, and we leave 3 to 5 times often.
Yes.
Yeah, normal.
We are going to talk to Emma here a bunch. Again, Emma has a lot of secrets, so we're going to get a few more contradictions out of Emma here.
So you said this game had a budget?
This game,
a lower budget?
This game, it got about £10,000 from Kickstarter. I assume there was some more money that came from elsewhere. But yes, this game was very low budget. And at times you can see it. I think it's still... So the thing with this game is I generally really like this game because you can see that the things it's doing because it wants to. It's not like one of those, bad quote-unquote thing just because people didn't know what they were doing. In this case, they knew exactly what they were doing.
It's possible that what she said led to Liam's death.
Okay, interesting. I
blame the Rands before I blame
You've experienced it much more than me. I would have assumed it was a little bit of both.
That'll come in handy.
I think they knew exactly what they were doing with this. I think there is the one thing that they have been very open about not being ideal and not being the way they wanted the game to be is the ending, because they ran out of money, literally.
Hey, that wouldn't be the first or the last video game.
Yeah. So, if you play this game casually, I'm not going to spoil the ending here. Like when we get to the very last cutscene, I'm going to skip it so that people don't get spoiled and they can go and play the game casually. If you play this game casually, you immediately see that they ran out of money. They had to finish the game where it was, essentially.
Devil Worshippers just written on the side of the car.
Yeah. Okay. It's a Ferrari. It's a very nice car. But yes.
Yeah.
Who do you think that car belongs to?
Paul.
It's Ryan. So we're going to talk to Ryan about it.
That's close enough, right?
That's pretty close.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Ryan Rand.
Thank you.
So we're just going to talk to Ryan about it, and he's going to tell us that the person who did that is someone called Lisa Blint, who also lives in the village. So we're going to talk to Lisa. And this is probably the longest cutscene in the game. So, you know, just sit back and enjoy. I'm going to take this chance to drink some water.
Stay hydrated. Good call.
Is it Lisa?
Yes.
Inspector Jenks, I'm investigating an incident in the village. I wonder if I could ask you a few questions.
What sort of incident?
I'd rather come in and discuss it if that's all right with you. I promise I won't take long.
So Lisa here was the person who painted devil worshippers on the side of Ryan's car.
I have to go out in a minute.
Oh, look, I can come back later.
I might not be here. What did you want to ask?
I just wanted to ask you, did you know Kate Vine?
No.
Right.
That little
Well,
mouth
I
pop.
heard that you're familiar with Atlas, the life skills training company.
What do you want to know about Atlas?
Well, I heard you reacted badly to it.
Of course I reacted badly. So would anyone.
Now, why do you say that?
Because they're devil worshippers.
There we go.
Devil worshippers.
They're making demons appear. They're tricking everybody. They're getting people to join up. Then they're putting demons inside.
I like the description of like putting demons inside them. Like they're cramming the demons in there.
Yeah.
I think that is that might be what business school is.
That's, you know,
In the mirrors.
fair.
Any mirror. You can't
Honestly, I think that's what they do when they give you the spaghetti and the marshmallows to put together to build the house. I would say, yep.
That's the demons part of it. I see.
That's the demons part.
You still see them.
She still sees them.
I just don't look.
What was her name again?
Lisa.
Okay.
Lisa Blint.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
I put them on when I need to look in the mirror. If I make sure everything is bright, I just see myself without seeing the other person.
Who is the other person?
I think that might be my favorite line from Jenks in the whole game. Just a little whispery. What's the other person?
Older. It's like her eyes sink in. She's all wrinkled.
She's a
With a
witch.
wrinkled mouth. Like she's dying.
Oh, that's bad.
And then I realize I'm her. I'm not me anymore. I'm her.
Yeah, this cutscene is a lot.
Oh, it's.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
What just happened?
You know, just like a spooky door opening kind of thing. Anyway, Lisa here.
Oh, she left her keys.
Yeah. You know, Lisa here, surely like an essential part of the plot, right? Like, as the whole thing about devil worship.
Well, the way you're saying it like that.
She never shows up again.
Utterly convinced.
Well, she left her keys in the door. Of course she can't get back.
That's fair, you know. So we're going to talk to our friend Ryan Rand here about that accusation. And here we discovered that Ryan was a goth teen, and he was really into like reading on satanic rituals and stuff. So, you know, makes you think.
If I was running the devil worshipping business school, I probably wouldn't tell that to the inspector.
I think that's probably a good idea. Yeah.
Importance they actually give to this test.
I'm making some assumptions. I don't know how the game ends. I'm just, you know.
So now we're just going to talk to Paul a bunch here. Here we discovered that Paul is kind of like a gross old man who thinks he, you know, part of the benefits of being involved in a business course is that he can talk to younger women.
I was noting
which kind of
the weird circle of ritual that there seemed.
Yeah. So yeah, there's nothing too, explicit about it in the game, but it's very clear that this man is kind of gross. So we're just going, and we discover actually that he was the person who bought Emma the necklace that we find at the very beginning of the game.
Oh,
wow!
As kind of like a birthday gift to try and woo her or something.
I do still think this door might be.
Yeah, this is top tier door for sure.
Yes.
I do think Miss Lisa's door was also
a good door. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's 10 p.m. now. We are about to see the first slap in this game. There are 2 slaps in this game. We're about to see the first one.
Oh.
I just don't want to tell tales.
Tell him about Simon. You know what happens when you don't do as I say.
There it is.
Oh.
So it's going to be that kind of evening, is it?
You should play your cards, right?
Is this where the second one shows up?
Oh no, the second one's much later. Yeah.
I'm joking. I know.
Hello, Inspector.
Yeah, so here we're just going to do some investigating here in the pub, just poke around. We find some prescriptions.
Those just behind the bar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please don't tell me he's going to take those.
No, he's not going to take those. Of course not. He's.
Oh, good. Good.
But if you know your medication names, you know what that thing was.
I actually don't think I knew that one.
Well, isn't that interesting?
That is, we're going to learn very shortly here. That is morphine.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
And now we're going to go here and see Simon drop every single thing he's ever had in his pockets.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Simon, please.
Get your act together, Simon. Come on.
I like that after that, Jenks just goes, bit careless, Simon. After that man lost everything he's ever had in his life.
Yeah, the deed to his house was in there.
It's very funny that it feels like 10 different things fall from his pocket. It's only 2, but it feels like 10.
No, it sure did.
Normally nothing falls out of your pockets, so
I really like this contradiction here because we discovered that our friend Simon here, he had an insurance payout and he went what do I buy with this money? And he decided to buy a car, which sounds like a very reasonable thing until you discover that he doesn't know how to drive. He bought a car as an investment, a thing that famously appreciates over time, a car.
Hold on, really?
Yeah.
He bought it as an investment?
Yep, he bought a car as an investment, yeah.
I mean, I'm just getting a vibe that they don't really do Uber out here.
We see the bike at the very beginning of the game. That's his actual means of transportation. Because he cannot drive.
Considering there's 3 roads on this map, that makes sense.
Okay, that's it for now. Thank you.
But yeah, the thing that famously people say that it loses its value as soon as it drives off the lot. That's the thing he decided to buy as an investment.
Mm-hmm. Wise. Smart.
Very smart.
I need to take notes. What business class is this?
It's Atlas.
It's Atlas.
Ah, yes. Got it.
We are about to find, so our friend Ryan here says that the morphine that he takes for arthritis, because he has arthritis, is stored in a very secure room at Atlas. We're about to see what that is. And what do you think that room is?
The bathroom.
Okay, we're about to see what the room is.
Kitchen.
You're not going to guess it.
Wine
There's
cellar.
zero chance.
I'm so excited to see this. Hold on. Wait.
That was a very long buzz.
The anticipation.
No.
I'm sorry, what? The what? The mirror in your house?
Yes. The mirror room.
Oh my dear. Goodness.
I love this game.
Is he gonna run into a mirror?
Yes, he kind of does there. Yeah.
Yeah.
As a stranger. The more you separate from your persona, the more aware you will become.
But this also completely normal in business courses. Every business course has a mirror room.
I am free from my image. I am free from...
And they also have a CD where you chant together with the thing. You know, that's...
Yeah. No, this is deep.
Yeah. We joke about this, but I did have a business course that involved teaching me how to pilot a tugboat. That is actually true.
I mean, that kind of rules.
It was cool. It was really fun.
I'm not gonna clown on that.
Now completed module 1.
Oh, I found the disc.
Extreme testing.
Oh. I don't want to do extreme testing.
So I'm going to warn people in a bit that there is a content warning in this game for a tiny bit of fake blood and some simulated self-harm. It's nothing too gross or anything like that, but it's there and it's coming up in a bit here. So, you know, if you are very sensitive to those kinds of things, you can look away and I will tell you when you can look back.
That's it for the time being. Thank you.
But yeah, it's the first cutscene here at 11 p.m. It's one of the threshold tests they talk about there.
That's how Kate got
that makes sense.
And yes, so it's this cutscene here.
This have been what killed Kate. Just keep pushing. Just an hour left.
But this is also normal business stuff. We all went through this.
Yeah. Just keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. You can push it all the way in, Tom, if you want to.
What? I like how blue this is.
Yeah, it's 11 p.m. So you know.
Someone care to tell me?
That's how 11 p.m. looks.
Don't come any closer.
That man.
Classic 11 p.m.
No, he doesn't.
I don't need a doctor. I'm fine.
All right, we are free from the fake blood and the self-harm. So you can look back if you were looking away.
What does it look like? It's a threshold test. A pain threshold test.
Yeah, we all went through this. It's normal.
You were supposed to be good at working things out.
Yeah, that's just part of school.
Yeah.
Inspector Jenks.
I mean, it kind of is. It's just, you know, mental pain threshold, really.
Yeah.
You know, that's fair.
You disappear now.
It's not a good idea to talk to a police inspector like that.
Do you want me to make you?
It's okay, Tom. Mr. Jenks won't be bothering us anymore.
Don't make any rash.
I wish we got to see more of Tom here in the background in this game. This is the only time he shows up. Anyway, someone else dropped something, so, you know, come on, team.
Classic, another one, come on.
Did they just... Do they...
You really should take more care.
Have they not mastered pockets in England?
It's difficult, you know.
Keys, Kyle?
But you're just going to tell... Okay.
No.
I mean, he gave the keys back, but not the car fob thing.
Oh.
So now we're about to do probably the worst crime Jenks does in this game. He steals a 500-pound check from this car.
Well, if you're not going to deposit it...
You know, it's evidence.
Yeah. And like... You know, a check is meaningless until it's...
Exactly, yeah.
Properly...
Yeah.
Endorsed, so...
True.
Also, he's a police inspector, so he can do whatever he wants.
Exactly, yeah. There it is.
Is that how checks look in England?
Yes, 100%. Can confirm.
Yeah, definitely.
Source lived in England for 6 years, so...
Okay, cool. They look a lot more fake than they do here.
Now we're going to go here to the farm again, and we're going to see a delivery. And this is the last instance of the guessing game. Our friend James here is getting 2 shoe boxes. What do you think is inside those shoe boxes?
Okay, inside those shoe boxes, it has to be shoes.
That's a good guess, but it's not shoes. You have time for one more if you want to guess one more.
It's gotta be, you know what? It's a bunch of key fobs. It's like replacement keys.
It's not. You were never going to guess it. It's poppy pods.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, right, because there's drugs going on in this town.
Yeah, we've talked about morphine already, It's poppy pods.
Yeah, okay.
So we're going to talk to Simon
those grow
here.
in England?
I have no
I
idea.
don't think they do.
So we're going to discover that Simon here is allergic to opiates, but he did claim to take morphine in the mirror room, which is obviously a lie because he's allergic to opiates.
Simon.
Atlas seem to have this all
Very bad liar. Pretty much everyone in this game is a pretty bad liar. But yeah, the end of the game is actually coming up pretty fast.
Okay. Wow.
This run just flies by. It's not super active in terms of like the things I'm doing, but there's so much happening at all times that
be back later on if that's okay.
it flies by every single time.
Ask you a couple more.
Yeah, this has. I agree. This has been rather fast.
Okay, that's
feeling.
it for now.
Yeah, we're almost done with 11 p.m. And then 12 p.m. you only have a couple of contradictions and one big cutscene, which is a wonderful cutscene, but it's just the one.
And aren't you skipping that one?
No.
Okay.
We're watching that one.
Okay.
All right, so we have the last contradiction from Paul here.
A prime candidate. Was Kate a prime candidate?
Kate was a prime candidate.
Oh man.
More things, please.
And if you want to know what a prime candidate is, you need to play this game because I don't have time to explain the whole thing.
Yeah, no, leave that as a mystery for the audience.
Yeah,
as an exercise for the reader.
Yourself.
Yeah.
You say thank you. Probably be back later.
Right, now we have our final cutscene here after we leave twice again.
Oh. That's still pretty good.
It's so good. Right.
It's so good.
Final cutscene. He's just walking through the woods. Is this the guy we saw for 2 frames drinking some whiskey at some point?
Actually, quite bad. What's Kyle got to do with it? I think I might make my way over to Atlas while Ryan isn't there.
Mysterious chanting.
This seems bad.
Very mysterious.
Prove to me that you're man enough to do this, Kyle, and then you can deal with that ridiculous police inspector.
So my question is, did the script have the exact words he's chanting or just had like mysterious chanting and he's just doing stuff?
Yeah, say gibberish.
Yeah.
Inspecting?
I'm assuming that's the guy who was pain thresholding the other guy.
You are correct.
The other mask.
Yes.
The best thing that you can do is turn around, go away, and leave us to it.
Knife. What? That knife gives me a perfect right to stick my nose in, investigate, and interfere.
This?
I mean, can you interfere while now?
But take your time, it's not like she's under, a life-threatening situation or anything like that. Take your time, it's fine.
Kyle. Drop it!
Come on, Kyle.
Drop it.
Not a cool guy confirmed.
No.
Yep.
Not looking 100% brilliant for you, Ryan.
I mean, not a particularly menacing knife. It's a Swiss Army knife, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, you really probably need something better if you're trying to like ritually sacrifice.
Yeah,
somebody.
it's not super menacing or like ritual-like, right?
It's also not that sharp.
It's true. Yeah.
I just gotta be real. Like, if you're trying to do some bloodletting, you probably need something sharper.
That's true.
Believe me.
But they were like on a time crunch. It's what they had in hand. So
Hey,
sometimes you gotta do the satanic sacrifice.
You make do with what you have. I understand.
Now, I saw Simon walking home with Kate last Friday after the meeting. Now, Simon had some strange idea that he was in the running to become prime candidate. Well, a knob of butter has more chance of becoming prime minister. Oh, wait.
So are you telling me that...
that good political humor? Just a tiny little bit there.
Political commentary there, yeah.
I don't even know who they were on.
I think it was David Cameron at the time.
Okay.
Pig!
Anyway, that's slap number 2.
I know. Police
that one looked a little...
Yikes.
Yep. I think that might actually be the worst thing that Jinx does in this game. I
was about to say that slap looks a lot more serious in the first
Yeah, for for sure. But, he just lets her walk away, like just walk home, 11
do we
p.m.
even know who that is?
Nope.
Okay.
We'll never know. So we're going to talk to Simon
if you normally
here.
play the game?
Nope. Thank you. You never know.
Yeah, cool.
So we're just going to talk to Simon real quick about like, hey, guy said it was probably you. And Simon freaks out and runs away. And finally, we're going to go talk to Rebecca here, and time is coming up pretty fast here. We're going to talk about the tape here.
Later on, if that's okay.
And then we're going to lock in our last contradiction here. And time. And I am going to skip the final cutscene so you don't know what happens. I'm just going to go straight to the credits here. But that's Contradiction, Spot the Liar.
That was great. I might have to play the game now.
Yes,
absolutely incredible.
To be honest,
I love this game.
I need to know.
Yeah, I love this game like fully unironically. I genuinely love playing. Like every time I run this game is a good time. It's I've played this game probably 70 times through at this point, and it's still a good time every single time. Right. Let me
really funny.
Yeah. Let me just do a quick round of thanks and shout outs and stuff. Thanks to Conception for having me here and letting me show this game.
Pleasure's all mine for sure.
Yeah. Thanks to my brother who dug into the source code of the game to figure out a cutscene skip for any %. Shout outs to him. Shout outs to anyone who runs weird runs and unconventional things. Every time I see someone running something that looks weird or doesn't look like someone should be running, it's a good time. I love that stuff. Thanks to Ant and to Forrest for being here and keeping me company.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, Ant and Forrest, do you have any shout outs you want to give or anything like that?
I don't think I do. I just want to say thanks.
Shout outs to Jenks.
Yes. Okay, yeah, you know what? Yeah, shout outs to Jenks.
Mm-hmm.
Also possibly Ryan and Paul. I'm thinking about it.
Well, you never know how bad the whole thing was with Atlas because we never got a sequel
shout
to
out
this.
To Paul Darrow, whoever.
Shout outs to Paul. Paul Darrow was Paul Rand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he pass?
He passed a few years after the game came out.
Definitely shout out to him.
Shout outs to Paul Darrow. Yeah. That's us. Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you all so much for showing us this incredible game. How fun, how charming yet goofy. I loved it so much. I can't wait to try it out myself. We have one last game on the schedule here for you tonight for Awfully Silly's point and click night. But before we do that, we're going to take one last little break. So feel free, everybody out there, get up, stretch, grab some snacks, go through your door 1 to 5 times at least. And then we'll see you here in just a few short moments. All right, everybody, welcome back to Awfully Silly, where we have been diving into some interesting, goofy, fun, etc., point and click games this evening. As pointed out to me in the green room, this coming game also has kind of like a sinister side to it. And I kind of thought about it. All of the runs tonight had some kind of sinister side to them, which was not intentional, but there's your secondary theme if you're interested. But just to remind everybody as well, though, SGDQ 2025 is coming up live in Minneapolis, July 6th through the 13th. You can register to attend the event now up until May 26th. So use !SGDQ in Twitch chat, or you can just go on over to the website, gamesdonequick.com, for some more information about that. So highly suggest you do that so we can hang out in Minneapolis together, because I'll be there too. All right, without further ado, though, we got to dive into our last and final point and click game of the evening, which is going to be a Nancy Drew game, actually. I was very excited to have this one on the show. We're going to have Nancy Drew, The Deadly Device, specifically, and it's going to be run by Tomomodachi. So, Tomomodachi, the floor is yours.
Hello. As the lovely Conception just said, I am Tomomodachi, and I am so excited to be showing off my favorite speed game, Nancy Drew, The Deadly Device. And with me today, I have some epic commentators, if you'd like to introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Gemstoned. I like to speedrun a lot of Nancy Drew games.
Hi, I'm Pippi in a top hat. I don't speedrun Nancy Drew games, but I appreciate them. and I am here to appreciate Nancy Drew.
Thank you. All right, so we're gonna just jump right into it here. This game is super fun. In particular, though, we're gonna be playing on Amateur Sleuth mode today. The Amateur Sleuth versus Master Sleuth are actually separate leaderboards, except I don't know of anyone that has actually ran on Master Sleuth, simply just because it is that much slower. Oh,
wow, one of those.
Yep. All right, we're gonna get started here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
Best of luck.
We are here at the Technology of Tomorrow today, and we are spying in on this lab here where something mysterious is happening. That door says do not enter and do not exit. What's the door there for? And check out that epic sweater. That Christmas sweater is just mwah, chef's kiss.
I love
We got some creepy music here. There's some electricity.
That's just what happens to reindeer.
Oh, yes. It is snowing. It must be Christmas time.
It has to be.
Scientists found electrocuted in laboratory. Foul play suspected.
No.
Also, it's not Christmas time, it's October.
Huh.
Alrighty, so as we load out of that opening cutscene there, you're going to see immediately this cutscene behind our phone is actually going to start playing. We had a very small window there where we were actually able to open up Nancy's phone. And we're going to be using this to have 2 conversations at once. This is my antisocial nightmare. But we're going to be having 2 conversations at once to skip over multiple lines of Nancy's dialogue, as well as Victor here. Now, Victor is going to be the person who hired us, and he wants us to figure out what happened in Eco because he owns the Technology of Tomorrow today.
I think I know where you should start. So no. Ryan, the police really thought she might be behind Nico's
He's going to
murder.
give us a little bit of a rundown.
She built the machine that killed him. And supposedly
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the basics of how this trick is operating is that it can only play one dialogue spoken by Nancy Drew at a time. So instead of listening to the long dialogue that goes with the intro, we are overlapping a shorter dialogue.
I'm not
and
sure
so it just
where to
skips the
start
long
investigation.
All right, and this trick actually allows us to keep the phone call open, which we're going to use right here.
I'll let you go.
For a sequence break. You heard the phone ring just a little bit there. Normally, Victor would have a phone call there, but we're actually able to skip that phone conversation that I believe is about 1.5 minutes long. And because this phone conversation never happened, we're actually able to skip forward and sequence break. Now, normally it would force you to go to night there and you'd be stuck in a 3-minute lab sequence. However, we managed to skip all of that. And now we're doing aggregation. And now we're done with aggregation. Pippi, while I'm riding this elevator here, would you like to explain what just happened?
Aggregation is a fun little match 3 game that is definitely fun, and Momo hates it, and it's completely unwarranted. I'm just gonna say that. But that is required for the game.
It means I'm busy.
There's a lot of puzzles in these games, and arbitrarily one of the characters is like, yeah, no, I'll only let you do what you want in this room if you've beaten the high score on aggregation. So that's mandatory. You have to play that.
And it's dangerous and sly like a fox.
Now, it should be noted, we do have to get the high score on aggregation. However, the game only checks to see if you're on the board for aggregation, which in this case on Amateur Sleuth mode only means getting past level 3. And also, there's just an intense amount of RNG in there, which we did get perfect RNG there, thankfully.
Justifies me kicking you out of my workspace?
I'm here on behalf
Now,
of
this character that we're talking to here, this is Mason. He works the day shift here at the lab, and he's a jerk, which is why he's the best character, obviously.
Do you know why?
And with Mason, we're going to be setting a flag here for a
what did you tell them?
I said if I were to have
a bit of a thing later on.
Stole my work.
Whoa, hold on.
It's just a for instance.
Is it?
Yes, that's because I think logically. I force myself to think from A to B
Shoutouts
to C,
to this dialogue.
and so on. Ryan is all over the place. For her, it's A to zucchini.
To that thing from TV, to maybe C, then down to some non sequitur.
I don't trust anyone I can't explain.
Bye.
See you later.
See you later. I believe that is actually the only time we talk to Mason. Now here we need to make sure that we look at that board in the hallway there. That is another flag for a puzzle later on. Now we're gonna meet Ryan, who almost just killed us. So maybe she is the murderer. We'll find out, I guess.
I was really hoping you'd be the type not
But this is the person that Victor believes is guilty and wants us to try and figure out if she is the guilty one or not.
Near death, but you know, closer than what you get walking through most stores.
It's okay. I'm fine.
Good. I had a whole argument prepared about labs and the risks of working with machinery and the importance of forgiveness. Do you want me to hit all the bullet points?
That's not necessary.
Are you sure? I practiced. No, I get it. I'm Ryan.
Awkward, no handshake? Awesome.
Bye. Bye.
Alrighty, we're gonna grab two things from Ryan's lab here. We're gonna grab this color sheet and then this empty key card, which we're gonna use to break into the lab. And now we're gonna go turn it to nighttime and we're gonna go meet another character and also activate this key card. Now, you're gonna notice throughout the run, there are gonna be a lot of little things that I do to save literally half a second each time, and that movement right there, you could choose to go sort of the long way, which takes 2 extra inputs, but we choose sort of a shorter way there, which takes 2 less inputs. Now, we're actually gonna meet Ellie by trying to go into Mason's area here, and she's gonna be like, hey, what's up with that? And during that time, we're gonna use that little bit of delay to open up the phone here. Now, we can't call Victor just yet, but we're about to get dragged into a cutscene. If we were to have called Victor before we got dragged over to Ellie, the game would have crashed. So you can't skip all text in this game without punishment.
Most people never get to see the inside of the lab. And we're not exactly up to giving
If I am correct, though, this is also one of the last Nancy Drew games where you could not skip the dialogue outright. So, thank the period of time when this came out for the fact that we get to hear all the voice acting. And also, this is a normal situation to be in, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I better get going.
Bye.
I made an electric box. I better get going.
Let me look around in the lab sometime? Nope. I'll let you go.
Your work here is done.
Alrighty, now we're gonna go try to sneak into Mason's area again, and Ellie's gonna be like, I already told you not to do that, what are you doing? But Ellie's the best co-worker in the world.
I was just a little
And you'll see why in just a moment.
You know, he's not here. Make you a deal. He's been lording his high score aggregation over me. Take him down. And I'll let you poke around.
This is a completely normal thing for co-workers to do. You know, they fight over arcade games and let you into their personal space.
It's a limited time offer.
Perfectly healthy office environment. Also, I'm sorry, I'm gamer judging. That was the high score on that scoreboard is very permissive on aggregation. It's almost like they've been doing their work instead of playing aggregation all day.
So in Mason's area there, we did set a couple of flags, including finding a video file. So now we're going to go and we're going to hit the security alarm. Now, this actually sent a character out of their environment that we haven't met yet because of the sequence break. We'll meet him in about 20 minutes. Now this is
puzzle in the game.
This is Zap Up. This is a very, very satisfying puzzle that we're using to turn on the security boost computer.
All the numbers shown clockwise on the wheel using their binary code. These must be the key cards.
And again, we're just going to be setting a couple of flags here, including this lab access flag, where we find there's a mysterious number that doesn't appear anywhere else in the logs from the night of the murder. And now we did get that video file from Mason's area, so we want to watch that. But again, text is slow. Nancy, you talk too slow. I'm so sorry. So we're going to actually call Victor here, and he says Victor here, which is a community favorite. And we're going to skip through Nancy's text at the end here.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Alrighty, and then, you know that thing that Google does? VFR, WODQ, there we go. Yeah, Google says, hey, use this password. It's super secure. Apparently Victor did that, and that's how he got that weird password there.
Early adopter, yeah.
Oh, yes, yes. And then we have a layering puzzle right here.
This puzzle is next gen, trying to detect if you're a robot. They make you solve a layering puzzle. Robots can't do that.
That doesn't sound good.
So now, if we did that correctly, we will have activated the key card and we have access to a new environment.
In the lab.
So we're gonna pick up this beaker here, and then we're gonna do, again, just set a couple of flags. You might notice a trend.
I am a big fan of the thing that Nancy Drew just did, which is, in fact, a point-and-click adventure game staple, if I'm not mistaken, of, I need that item to do this.
Must mean it's locked.
I'm holding it.
If I turn everything blue, it's open.
Please let me.
All right, here we're now making something known as etching solution, which we won't use for another 10-ish minutes. But it's right there, so we're gonna use it. And now Nancy was just like, there's this mysterious humming. Maybe I can use that to force Ellie out of her environment so I can snoop through her belongings.
I can't believe you didn't make exploding water.
Is the hall just outside?
Yeah, if you make the etching solution wrong, including just putting water in the jug, it does explode. And it is a game over sequence.
We need to find a way to play this.
Fun fact, Nancy Drew can die.
This could be useful.
Oh.
Alrighty, and we also grabbed this book here, which again is just a flag. We need to pick that up in order to finish some puzzles later on. And now we're done with nighttime for now. So we're gonna go back to daytime. And now we just discovered all these different things in the lab, and we really wanted to figure out how to fix these things because Nancy apparently thinks it's important. So we're gonna go talk to Ryan. Now the interesting thing about this here is we're about to have a very funny interaction with Ryan. She screams, we don't care.
Bye.
What's up?
We leave, go back in, and it's like the scream never happened. Now that scream there is actually, if you see this pink robot cat head behind it, there is an optional side quest to build a robot cat in this game. And that's what that scream is she's screaming at that.
Here, this should do the trick.
Yeah, this game is full of Easter eggs, including some literal Easter eggs.
Tesla coil.
Yeah.
Can you help me out?
Oh, neat.
I think I've got the plans here.
Also, a good portion of the stuff that Momo's been doing so far is that the game won't let you like have conversations that are or solve certain puzzles if you haven't seen the solution at least once.
You seem like you know what's up.
A lot of those are just like
you'll find everything
Nancy
you need
Drew
in the
learns that a piece is missing so that she can talk about it later. Or Nancy Drew learns what binary code is, even though the player might have already known what binary code was.
The control plate.
Right. So Ryan wants us to get these cocoa mallows for her, which are cow-shaped chocolate-covered marshmallows, which those are delicious. Now, in order to get these, we have to solve this memory puzzle, this little Simon Says. Now, this is the same the first time you do it, every single time you play the game. It's every time after that if you want more candy that is complete RNG.
Everybody's having fun with blue and orange, yeah?
Yeah, there's not going to diversify the colors there. Okay.
Portal 2 reference, let's go!
There you go.
Ryan wanted.
All right, now we're gonna go deliver this candy to her, and we actually did that so she would fix the media card player down in Nico's office. Why she didn't just grab that candy while she was down in Nico's office fixing it?
What's up?
Don't ask me. Don't ask me. I didn't make the game. Shout out to her interactive, by the way.
Simon Says.
I'll start fixing it right now.
And you know what? I'm on her side. I also don't want to play Simon Says.
Poor Simon. Rest in peace.
I'm not listening to what he says.
Now we only need to listen to the last 6 seconds of this first entry here.
I didn't bother taking it with me.
That says, hey, Ryan was threatening me. That was Nico's voice, by the way. And I left him in the couch in the lounge. And putting a threat on gummy bear paper really doesn't seem very threatening to me. But, you know, it's whatever you want to do.
If you're allergic to gummy bears, though.
Yeah.
Very threatening.
Now,
yeah.
We skipped forward a day there because we want to make sure that we are on the proper day because of that sequence break that we did earlier for a trick coming up.
What's up?
We're gonna go confront Ryan here.
In the lounge. Is this your handwriting?
Yes.
While Ryan is talking, Jem, would you like to explain what's coming up here?
It looks like a threat.
Yes, so this is called the Deirdre skip. It's the most precise trick in the game. So normally on the second day of the game, Deirdre, who's Nancy's friend that's going to help us with the case, will call you as soon as you wake up. But since we did that sequence break at the beginning of the run, and we didn't go to the next day, Deirdre never called us. But the game does have a fail-safe, where if you don't trigger the flag for Deirdre calling you in the first place, she will call you exactly 2 minutes after you get kicked out of Ryan's workshop, which just happened about 10 seconds ago. And we need to talk to Deirdre twice. First, we need to ask her to investigate Ryan, and then we need to call her back to ask about the results of the investigation. But since she never called us the first time, we don't have her contact in our phone. And when picking up the phone throughout the run, you may have noticed there's a delay from when you click on the phone to when it actually comes up on the screen because of the animation. So the goal of this trick is to have that 2-minute timer end during the delay when opening the phone when Deirdre is calling. And that delay is about a half a second with a 5-frame window, so you have to use a timer to get it just right. And if we do that correctly, we can immediately call Deirdre back even without her contact being in our phone. So this avoids having to wait another 12 minutes for her to automatically call again. And in that 2-minute timer, which is going on right now, we want to try to fit in 3 puzzles. The circuits, which we just done, making the etching solution, and doing the capacitors.
Time to replace the capacitors like Ryan's note in the book described.
So this is the capacitors. This puzzle has very finicky hitboxes. Sometimes you'll place a piece down and the game will not accept that you actually set it down. And that 2-minute timer is about to come up. If we do this trick correct, it will save about 3 minutes, so it's a pretty big time save. Now we're on to our last puzzle. We're gonna try to make as much solution as this is possible before the 2 minutes are up. And go to the elevator.
Got it.
Got it.
All right.
Nice.
So yes, that
Let's
again.
go.
That's like a 5-frame window. So I have that 2-minute timer going on. Also, Jem beautifully said, thank you so much. I have that 2-minute timer going on, and I press the phone button there at approximately 159.75, but you know, milliseconds go very quickly, so you gotta react very fast. Now I almost hit what's known as the God cycle there. It's where you do all 3 puzzles and then you make it directly back to the elevator and you hit the top of the elevator. I was just a couple seconds off of that. Still very, very good. Very hard to do. So I'm very happy with that.
That was amazing.
So again, yeah, this is about a 3.5, 4-minute phone conversation here. Again, we're going through some required text that Deirdre would have normally already given to us previously when we had woken up or reset the alarm clock. And she's going to make sure Ryan is innocent because she's helping us out because plagiarism is bad, and she got caught plagiarizing. Don't plagiarize, kids. Don't do it.
Ryan was under so much scrutiny, but never sent to trial.
Deirdre is also the best character in this game.
Shout out to the King's Pride.
He is a big Deirdre fan.
So if her alibi stands up, it couldn't be her.
Exactly. Unless there's something big I'm missing.
Something's weird about
Deirdre is a major antagonist in a lot of the Nancy Drew books as well. And she's also in Alibi and Ashes and Midnight in Salem. I think only these 3 games?
See what you can find on your end.
Does that sound right, Jim?
Yeah, and she's also a phone contact in a lot of games as well.
What's up?
Now that was the whole purpose of the trick there. Normally when Deirdre hangs up and she's like, yeah, don't call me when I'm busy, she would hang up and the phone would close. Because of everything we just did, we're able to keep the phone open. Now, if we had missed it, there are 2 backups. It's you have a safety save, or you wait 12 minutes. 12 minutes later, she randomly calls you back with the evidence. But that doesn't sound very fast to me. I don't know about you, but
pretty slow. 12 minutes, that's a lot.
You found pictures of Ryan, but
can we get further GGs for getting that trick? Momo, I cannot comprehend the idea of hitting a 5-frame window after almost 2 minutes of...
She couldn't have made it back in time.
Waiting. That's actually incredible.
That you interrupted.
Oh,
well done, indeed. Wild.
Thank you. That it takes a long time to get used to Deirdre Skip in general. Getting all 3 of those puzzles done. I remember when I started, I was just glad to get one of them done.
I better get going.
Yeah, the Deirdre Skip is definitely one of the most hardest and precise tricks in all of the Nancy Drew games for speedrunning.
Yeah, before Deirdre Skip was discovered, this game was actually mostly a vanilla playthrough. Now, we haven't actually met one of the characters yet because of that sequence break, and we'll be meeting him in just a little bit here. But when we do meet that character, you'll see he says, hey, remember, in the lab? And really, we have no idea what they're talking about because that never happened.
Okay, what's my next move then?
I don't know. I have to think.
So Victor is very mad that we discovered that Ryan is innocent.
You are innocent. I'm sorry I ever doubted you.
Don't be sorry. It's the smartest course of action. Look, I gotta ask you.
We learned today that we are not allergic to gummy bears.
You're here to look into what happened to Nico, aren't you?
Huge.
No.
Huge.
Okay.
Now, Ryan asked us there if we were there to investigate what happened to Nico. Now, it is faster there to say no compared to yes, so unfortunately we do lie to Ryan, but oh well. And Nancy's gonna get knocked out here. Again?
I swear, every game.
Every game!
Is there anywhere she doesn't get knocked out?
It's pretty hot in here.
I don't know. She's acting a little bit sus right now with all this venting she's doing to get out of the photolithography lab.
What are you doing here?
Back off!
Now, this is the voice of the person we haven't met yet. His name is Gray. He is the security officer here at the lab.
Back off! Hey, let go! I don't want to see you here screwing around after hours.
Are you crazy? This is mine! Leave me alone!
Yeah, you better run.
What were they arguing about?
Okay, and then he's gonna be shredding something.
What's he doing in there?
Yeah, Gray, what are you doing in your environment doing things that are personal to you?
Yeah.
We've already met in the lab. Never mind. I'm Nancy. I'm here to
Nancy, that never happened.
Just with this.
Oh, that's probably from getting hit in the head.
Probably. She imagined the whole thing. You're so right. Also,
we thought it was the sequence break.
Shout out to Gray's shirt, which is actually a binary Easter egg in this game.
Nothing.
It didn't seem like nothing.
Leave it alone.
I'll let you go.
Bye.
All right, so Gray's definitely acting suspicious. He didn't want us to know that he was shredding something. And now we're going to go upstairs. And we're going to solve a few more puzzles. I call this this split Puzzle Gauntlet 2.0, with Deirdre Skip being Puzzle Gauntlet 1.0. And we got this 3D modeling puzzle.
Kind of the nice thing about having the timer is that, like,
Strange.
You can
What's
only
Ellie up to with
be like meet a ceiling of being so good at the puzzles before you run out of stuff that you can feasibly get done in the 2 minutes that you have. This just, the slower you are at puzzles, it's time loss.
They hated each
We don't
other.
like time loss.
What's going on here?
Good thing Momo knows the solution to all the puzzles, because I don't. They took forever to memorize.
I bet. Gee.
I've been running this game for a little over 10 months now, I think. My current PB at the time of this hotfix is a 4130, which I actually got yesterday. So it was about a 30-second PB. Okay, we're gonna go print that part we just made, and we actually grabbed those paper shreds. Now, Ellie had this list of books on her desk, and those relate to these books right here. And that's gonna unlock some secret things. Now we get the worst puzzle in the game, and honestly, a nightmare I hope I never have to do this in real life, is deal with paper shreds like this.
It's a pretty common theme throughout Nancy Drew games that the real villain the whole time was the hitbox recognition.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
You can tell that they like sometimes really nicely snap together, and other times you're like, I put them right on top of each other and we don't snap? Okay.
Got it. Now to find a way to take this with me. What?
Now we're gonna do a dialogue interruption because we have to go through this dialogue after opening up the notebook there. And now Gray is still out of his office, and you saw that little red image.
Seem to mention this was
5, 10, and we open up this secret compartment. 2I652259. And now this is going to be different footage from the night of the murder. Now the thing about this footage is this is prime time where we're doing pretty much nothing else. So this is the perfect time to get this puzzle done. Now these are binary numbers here. And that looks all correct to me.
Wait.
Save the last one to skip through some extra text, and there's going to be that weird code in the corner there. Now we still have more to solve in that notebook, but we also need it to be daytime. And while it's transitioning here, we're going to A, B, A, D, G, D, F.
These must be the notes. Hello?
That's the hardest thing to memorize in this game.
Yeah, jeez.
It's not the randomly generated passwords. That would be the worst to me.
Those, we're talking about music notes. And isn't it just the most beautiful song you've ever heard?
Mm-hmm.
I love
It's a pretty shocking music arrangement, don't you think?
Okay. Entered pun territory, I see.
Oh, you haven't met me.
Real pun-threatening aura there. I like it.
So we did just get this note that says, the closer I come to the answer, the more I appreciate the magnitude of this discovery. I fear that I can no longer trust those around me. I cannot allow my research to go wasted. Unknown. So to find the hidden knowledge, illuminate a black light under the glow. Now, thankfully, Riot has a black light right here. Now, there was actually a new time save discovered just
I better get
a couple weeks ago that I'm going to attempt here. Yes? I'm going to, again, use that delay of opening up the phone to,
from the night of the murder.
to basically have the phone open in front of Ryan's face.
Yes.
And we have this long cutscene here where we're basically rewatching the video that we did that other puzzle in front of. And we have just enough time to get through this dialogue that Victor has, which previously we've not been able to use Victor after he gets mad at us for proving Ryan's innocence because of this long dialogue here.
I guess it's time to take a long look at everyone else.
True.
Keep an eye out.
So we're going to use this and we're going to skip 3 lines of text. Saves somewhere between 3 and 5 seconds.
Someone followed Nico into that lab and edited themselves out of the tape. I'm pulling this off the network before.
Bye.
That footage must have been flagged.
I'm pulling this off the network before buy is kind of great.
If you're smart, you do the same.
I'm also waiting for the new time save to be found where calling the Hardy Boys is required.
They have too long of an intro. Now, we're gonna call Victor here, and Nancy and Mason are gonna have a lot of lines that technically we can skip. This is the rare circumstance where it actually does not save any time because all the dialogue in this specific interaction is linked to the animations of the cutscene.
Wait, stop! Someone's activated the machine. You have to shut
Now, Mason is super glued apparently to the Tesla coil there.
I'll let you go.
Bye.
And we skipped another line of Nancy's text there.
Thank you.
I mean, she says, I need to find a way to shut off all the power, which is a very long line.
No clue. Look, maybe we could keep this between ourselves, okay?
What are you doing?
I thought we said the power was off, and oh yeah, all the lights are on in this room.
Come on. Nice job.
Don't worry about it.
Saved me some paperwork back
Don't worry
there.
about it.
It's unfortunate that we couldn't
I have
be meeting
questions.
under better circumstances.
I don't have answers. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
It looks like your ride is going to be a little late. Get settled in the
I should
you
ask
might also
Nancy,
notice-
and then she'll just go, goodbye.
I'm going to need all of your passes and keys.
You may also notice Victor's beard is different than the picture in his contact photo. So I guess he was just away getting his beard dyed or something.
You leave.
It looks pretty nice, don't you
Hire a
think?
professional next time. Killer
Yeah.
gets found. Killer goes to jail.
What do you think,
I'll
Jim?
let you go.
Mm-hmm.
It looks pretty nice.
So, Victor fired us because he didn't want us in the lab because it was too dangerous, but we went in the lab anyways. And yeah, so he just fired us. But, we're actually snowed in. So Nancy doesn't care. She's just gonna be like, well, I'm still here. I'm still gonna work on this case because that's just the kind of girl Nancy is. So we're gonna get Ryan.
Key card.
Yes, we're going rogue.
Well, sorta.
Or in this case, Rouge the Bat.
Thanks. I need your
Fun
help
fact,
distracting
voice actress
Victor.
of Nancy
I've got
Drew is
just
the
the
same
thing.
voice actress
What
of
is it?
Rouge the Bat from Sonic.
Listen.
Oh, neat.
Also, yes, device beeps loudly. That's the true deadly device right there.
No! Victor hates it. Like
He triple
mega
hates it.
super hates it to infinity.
I'm not a big fan of it either,
running for
but you
more than a
speedrun this
second,
game enough, you
he'll
just
be
get used to
yelling
it.
at me to turn it off.
Perfect.
But Nancy, I also hate it. And
Glad
I
to know
hate
you have
getting yelled at by
ears,
Victor.
Ryan.
So whatever you need to do, please do it quickly.
Also, why does
awesome
she have
goggles.
this
And then I'll let her
device? I don't
She's
think
an
I've ever
inventor.
asked this question. She just
an
invented a
inventor.
beepy boy?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Everybody needs a beepy boy.
Dare you question her?
I'm sorry, Ryan. Wait, we're a detective. We're supposed to be questioning people.
I have the clues I need. Time to figure out the correct sequence.
Oh, that's, wait. There we go. Alrighty, so now we're gonna turn the Tesla coil on the low setting, and you'll remember that it said, oh, whoopsies, didn't mean to do that. That's okay, just need to turn it back on. Man, what a failsafe feature that as soon as you leave the room, the Tesla coil turns off. It said illuminate a black light under the glow. The Tesla coil glows on the low setting. And this is going to lead us to Nico's secret area. Now we have this biometric fingerprint scanner, which we are assuming is Nico's fingerprint because that was his secret lab. So we need his fingerprint now, which Victor is distracted, thankfully. And apparently Nico didn't wash his hands before touching this. Which is convenient for us because we now get his fingerprint.
What's that?
I like
that
how
is
much the speedrun makes use of tape.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, sure does. That's a lot of tape, yeah.
I mean, you'd be in a sticky situation without it. No laughs on that one. Okay, that's fair.
I smiled.
Alrighty, so we just made a fingerprint mold, and now anytime we use that etching solution or what we used the printer for before when we fixed the Tesla coil, it takes typically a half day to complete, which is just basically you switch from day to night or from day to day. You basically just switch time. And we're gonna go grab that. And we're gonna go up and talk to Ryan again because we need something to make this fingerprint. We now have the fingerprint mold, but we need something else. And Ryan seems to be a fan of gummy bears.
Hi.
So we're gonna ask her for some gummy bears.
Anything I can do to convince you to give me some of your gummy bears?
Yes. Victor is a candy hoarder.
And this also reset Victor's timer when we reset the day, and we need him distracted still, so we're gonna ask Ryan to still distract him.
Can you distract?
He's been
Victor
distracted for over half a day.
Dear ears and general feelings of self-worth. I am so
Oh, no.
sorry
It
for what's
reset
about
us
to
and he
happen
went
to you.
back. Okay.
Your
Yes.
Got it.
friend.
I got confused for a second and thought that he'd just been looking for this mysterious buzzing sound for like 12 hours.
Give me some if I helped her.
So Ryan wanted us to get Victor's candy for her, but by distracting Victor, we are also distracting her, and we steal the gummy bears from her because it's that much faster. But it's okay. We get punished for it here. The elevator breaks down.
I need to replace all these.
Don't steal gummy bears.
Karma. Give out.
Just place it down. It's okay. We swiftly get out of there. Save Nancy's life once again.
No fatal errors today.
I need to find the power knob before I can use it.
Oh, hey, look, it was in your hand again.
The whole time.
Also, shout out to that real girl on the cereal box.
Yeah, Her Interactive does this thing where sometimes they just have like contests and stuff like that that you can enter to be in the games. So we're gonna go and we're gonna pick up the final video diary. It's red, which is how you know it's important, and these 7 magnets here. And Victor is distracted, so we're able to listen to it. Now there's only 2 things we need from this, and that's the pigeon parts 13, 6, and 7, which, if you guessed it, yes, that's binary. And we need to know Wardenclyffe at frequency 37.
What was Nico up to with a pigeon? This must be what Nico was talking about in his diary. This must be the key to one of Nico's passwords.
And you may notice Nancy was looking at nothing there. That's because we did an animation cancel by being fast.
This must be the building Nico mentioned.
Save time by being fast. That's how to be a speedrunner, y'all.
That's right.
I need to find the correct frequency.
Now we have this oscillator box here, which I think is meant to like mimic earthquakes or something. And we're gonna oscillate it at frequency 37 here, and we're gonna get this very, very important key. Go back downstairs, and Pippi, we get your favorite puzzle again.
Yay!
So satisfying.
It is. Wow.
Listen to those happy little beeps. They're so much nicer than the angry device beeps loudly.
Footage.
And yes, we get the unedited footage here. So if you had a guess for who the culprit is, we're about to find out. So Gray walks out, which is in the footage that we skipped over earlier while we were doing puzzles and text skips. And then, wait, who is that? What other bald guy do we know?
Does he have a beard?
Yes.
What does the beard look like?
I don't know.
Oh.
Now he's gonna look up at the camera here, which is gonna be our visual cue to actually call him. But since he's at the office, it doesn't let us call him, which is perfect for, you guessed it, more text skips.
Evidence out.
That one's a little funny to me. Now, Nico actually has this security for some reason. That just fried all of our electronics. The phone, the recording discs, and the flash drive. So obviously, we can't get that out. Now, funny thing in the task list, it says get the USB out of showing Nico's murderer out of the lab. And then the next one says get it safely out of the lab. And they had to distinguish that. Now we're gonna get a new rocket ship USB drive here.
Yes, Victor's yelling.
Now we get to my favorite part of the run.
I've made a chart to illustrate my feelings on the situation. This line represents my happiness and well-being over time. You may notice the steep decline. This frowny face here is because this is the first time I've made a chart, and it turns out it's very boring.
How Ryan got this far as a scientist without making a chart? Don't ask me.
Yeah, that's the impressive part, actually.
Time.
What?
The draft looks pretty cool on it, though.
Killed Nico.
Sure, yeah.
Did you call the police?
I couldn't. I had evidence.
I can't believe they
zapped when
zapped your
I tried to take it out
phone
of Nico's
so that you
secret
can't use it for
lab.
text skips anymore.
Secret lab? Zapped? What?
Oh, that's what you think.
I'll explain later. I just need a way to get the video
That is
out
what I
without
think. Am I
getting it
wrong?
ruined.
You need to find a way to
we'll
make the
find out.
Faraday cage. That should get the drive out without wiping.
Suspense.
Get the drive out. I'll work on what to do next. Take this. It'll help.
This box might be just what I need to build a
Here,
Faraday
take this
container.
box for this Faraday container with random junk in it.
Or maybe it'll backfire and electrocute you.
What?
Sorry. I'm just so happy we're gonna bust him. And also really scared he'll catch us and kill us all. I'm on a roller coaster right now. Ellie and I'll gas up the snowmobiles and split up to double our chances of reaching help. Do not let him catch on. If he knows you're about to get the video out, he will kill you.
Play it cool, Nancy.
I better get going.
Later.
I like that you can still ask about why she screamed earlier.
You can technically do the robot cat side quest until you finish the game. So, all right.
Hey, so there's a murderer out here. Why'd you scream earlier, though?
Robot cat.
Oh, okay.
Time to make a portable Faraday.
So to make this portable Faraday cage, we need foil, which we got from the lab there. We need a paper clip and a binder clip.
Should keep the drive safe.
I'm sad we don't just steal a microwave.
Okay, it's transferred. All right, I just might be able to get this.
This isn't the theory of Wind Waker HD on the on the review. Alrighty, so we get that video out safely. It's in our Faraday cage. It's all safe, and then Victor's just here, and he catches us.
You're awake. Well, that's unfortunate.
And then we're gonna get this ending cutscene here,
Victor,
and he's gonna be like, "This is why I did it."
Stay out of the lab. That was the one thing I asked you to do, and you couldn't. You see, Nancy, I knew Nico had something hidden in here. I just couldn't find it, which is why I asked you to stay out.
You got away with murder. Why not make a break for it? Why the elaborate plan?
Murder investigations don't just go away.
So what's happening here is Victor is basically saying, yeah, murder investigations don't just go away. I knew I was guilty, but I needed somebody else to be guilty. So this is why Nancy was hired, because Victor actually called Deirdre, and Deirdre, who doesn't like Nancy very much because he really wants Nancy's boyfriend Ned, said, actually, she's very, very incompetent. Do not hire her under any circumstances. Which is why she was hired, because he thought she would pin it on Ryan. But she's actually good at her job.
Congratulating you for being so sharp.
Now, this text skip that Pippi briefly foreshadowed earlier, not sure if that was on purpose or not, but Nancy actually says something. When you open up her phone at the end there, it says, oops, it's zapped. So we actually use that. That alone, I think, saves about 5 seconds.
Oh, wow. That's neat.
So you don't actually need a phone to talk to your phone.
No.
I love being in a life-threatening situation and playing with my hex bugs. I think that's what those are called.
Alrighty, we're almost done with the final puzzle here, and we're going to see how smart Victor is, and we are actually coming up on time very shortly here.
Oh, wow, okay.
The lightning rod is going to come up because we just fixed it. Victor's going to come out very stupidly, and that is going to be...
Dear
him. Victor was rushed to the hospital and then to a courthouse. So we have this ending cutscene here, and every single Nancy Drew game ends with some sort of letter that Nancy writes that sort of sums up the rest of the story.
I doubt there will be much to be found. The potential buyers Victor had been courting came forward immediately. It was quickly proven they had no idea about Victor's involvement in Nico's death. Regardless, they decided to
Man, he
cut
looks
funding
kinda
for
sad.
the lab immediately.
He should be. A gummy bear, man?
Mason snuck back into the lab.
I think it won't kill you.
I don't know if he deserves a gummy bear. He kind of murdered someone.
And Nico's research. Gray spent weeks chasing him down until he finally caught him trying
Sure,
to make a
he's
sale at the
sorry,
Technology of
and he
Tomorrow
won't
conference.
immediately try to kill us
After a heated
again.
public argument that sent the Technology of Tomorrow bloggers into a frenzy, the two reached an agreement.
Who knows? He's in jail now.
Promised all credit to Mason and Ellie, provided they assist him in finishing Nico's work. A video of the argument titled Epic Dork Fight.
I've seen more brutal epic battles at my daughter's dance recitals.
Within 2 hours, Gray was fielding calls from philanthropic.
Someone give them a D20 so they can resolve this already.
Mason, on the other hand, was fielding great requests from viewers who clearly have a
I
profound
love
affinity for the
cringe
lost
shaming
art of
culture.
arguing. Ellie was
Of
surprised at first to
course.
hear that Mason wanted her to assist with finishing up Nico's work. She agreed to stay on until the first publication is completed.
Now, if some of the things in this ending letter don't make perfect sense, it's because we skipped so much of the optional stuff in this game. Well, all of the optional stuff, because this is a speedrun. And we sort of connect the dots on some of the things we were missing, like the fact that Gray was Nico's best friend, and he was actually not supposed to be a security officer. He has a PhD.
The majority of the research up to the public. Some of the work he plans to destroy, as he promised. Although she had been exonerated, it wasn't until Ryan knew exactly what happened to Nico that she could begin to move on from what happened that night. She decided to stay with the team during the next research phase on the condition that she can personally address all safety issues before each experiment. More than anything, Nico wanted his work to make the world a better place.
He wanted reindeer.
I'd like to think he'd be very proud to see.
I think they're moose, actually. I think it's a moose. I think it's a moose.
Yeah, that does look like a moose. Where does this game take place?
Colorado.
Again, proves what I always believed.
Does Colorado have moose?
Remembers those who always give.
Does Colorado have moose?
He's wearing a Christmas sweater at the end of October. I don't know.
There is no logic to be gained here.
He's supposed to be an eccentric genius. He's allowed to wear socially inappropriate clothing in just a little bit of a weird way.
Alrighty, and this is just a very sneak peek at all the awards and achievements you can get throughout the game. That is actually a category, known as All Awards. Now, all Awards for this game is about 2 hours because you need to do 25 levels of aggregation, which is why I haven't ran that category.
You should.
Anyways, so thank you so much for watching. Again, this has been Nancy Drew at The Deadly Device. I just want to give a couple of shout-outs. Shout-outs to my commentators, Gemstone and Pippi. I would not be able to be up here without you two. I really, really appreciate you both. And shout out to the entire Nancy Drew community, with a special shout out to Yanima, the world record holder for this game, who has been super supportive of me running and getting very, very close to breaking his record. So we'll see what happens there. But and also, I just want to say, in regards to the Nancy Drew community, we do have what we recently started is monthly races where we vote on a game to speedrun, and then we all get together one day a month. Currently, it is the last Sunday of the month is what we have decided on, and we stream it, and we have a fun little race together. This month's is Danger on Deception Island, which I believe is game number 9. So I just wanted to shill for that a little bit. But Jem or Pippi, if you have any remarks.
Just thank you for having me, and everyone go join the community race.
Thank you for having me to quip and look at Nancy Drew. Y'all should play Nancy Drew. It's fun. Sometimes you get to play Sudoku.
You do. Yeah, there are 34 games in this series. There is a Nancy Drew game for everyone, and I will stand by that no matter what. This just happens to be, this is actually my second favorite one, but it's my favorite one to speedrun. My personal favorite, Silent Spy, which is game number 30, is a little bit more RNG heavy in terms of the speedrun. So that's why it's number 2 on speed game, but do a little switcherooskies on the placement there, but that's okay. Conception, thank you so much for having us. Yeah, that'll be it for me.
Oh yeah. The pleasure was definitely all ours. That was an absolute gem. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate that. And yeah, we're pretty much right at time here. So this has been an incredible episode of Awfully Silly. We'll be back. We will not be back 2 weeks from now, but we will be back in May with another episode of Awfully Silly. I have a special one planned for that one. It's going to be a little different formula-wise than this one's going to be, but it's going to be a blast. While I'm at it, a couple reminders as well. Don't forget, we have our own Discord, the GDQ Discord, and there's actually a hotfix role within that Discord. So feel free to use !Discord in the Twitch chat. That's going to allow you to keep tabs, join the Discord, keep tabs on the upcoming events. You can talk with staff or some of your favorite showrunners, what have you. So definitely suggest checking that out. And also, great news as well, Hotfix is not done for the evening. We have Express Lane hosted by Asuka coming up right after this, where we're going to be featuring a variety of speedruns that are all under the 1 hour mark, which we often hit on this show as well. So I think there was a lot of crossover interest and potential there. You're going to want to check out what is on the docket for that show as well. But without that, we'll see you in a few weeks here. And I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. And yeah, we'll see you in a few weeks for the next episode.